jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son, actions over words, baby boy, is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come back sports, talking way too much, world come back sports, talking way too much, world come back sports.
Shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-Side official. No negotiations needed, period. You already know what it is. WCS the first in the building. Salute to everyone that's en route, showing up. Once again, we got some hot grease for you. As always, this is Hot Grease Chronicles EP 303, year 2024. Next man up, Terrence Bud Crawford, Omaha Monster. However you want to, title him. WCS just, once again, I have some PSA to put out there again. Some hot grease, for this situation that they attempted, to turn it into a screenplay. But once again, when you continue to hate, when you continue to try to backdoor people, try to plot and scheme, when you try to build up a fighter that has crumbled, it's that they should rewrite Humpty Dumpty and make the main character Errol Spence. Real talk. They should rewrite Humpty Dumpty, get that out the way, and put Errol Spence in there. So as we all know, yesterday was a night of boxing, okay? We had Rolando Romero, that was the former champion, lose his title to a challenger from 135-pound division lightweight. Now, that wasn't an upset. Neither one of these fights was upset. Okay? Neither one of them. Nobody thought that Rolly was going to go in there and roll over Isaac Cruz. Nobody didn't think Isaac Cruz would roll over Rolando Romero because he didn't roll him over. He went in there and got the job done. He was the more dominant fighter. He did the same thing he always do. Overhand right, high guard. Overhand right, high guard. He did the same thing. Rolly just didn't have a solid game plan. And he was pulling on his punches. He wasn't trying to punch through Isaac Cruz because he was afraid of the power. But he showed heart, man. He got hurt bad early in the fight. And he tried to regain his composure. I give him all the credit, man. Rolly fought. But he just didn't have it. Shout out to Isaac Cruz. Let's see how far Isaac Cruz gets in the 140-pound division. Now that he's a world champion, legitimate, certified world champion. Rolly, not so much. That wasn't an upset. It wasn't an upset. Strictly based off Rolly earned the title, yeah, he can say he was a world champion. But Isaac Cruz is going to get more respect because you went in there and beat Rolly for the chip. Unlike Tony Weeks stopping the fight, unlike all this freaking special treatment where, you know, you get stopped at 135, you go up for automatic 140-pound title shot. You know what I'm saying? It was all doomed for Rolly. It all came to fruition. So he's no longer the champion. Isaac Cruz is current reigning, defending super lightweight WBA world champion. Kudos and salute to Isaac Cruz. But, you know, you kind of one-dimensional. You know, if I had to put anything out there, out of the 4 champions of Devin Haney, Subriel Matias, Teofimo Lopez, I say that Isaac Cruz is the weakest. Not weak as far as strength, but weakest as far as predictability. You feel me? I mean, I don't have anything. He's just one-dimensional. He just does the same thing over and over again. And no one, you know, really never made him pay with that overhand right and countering him with an uppercut or a hook. You know what I'm saying? To make him pay for continuing to go to the well the same way each and every time to draw water. Each and every time. Each and every time he want to draw water, he goes the same way. He's just hoping and hoping and hoping. I land this shot. You know, it's robotic, you know, at the end of the day. Let me get to the chat right quick. Shout out to 918 in the building. Fundora don't want to fight that bum EJ. Why so abrasive? Carlos, what's good? I see you in the building. WCS salute. That was an entertaining card last night. No doubt. No doubt. It was, man. It was. It was an entertaining card. I agree. I don't know what Arrow thinking. He better wait his turn before Bud get active on him again. Talk that shit, bro. Talk it, man. Speak on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm dropping a link today. I want to hear from the people. I want to hear from the people. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the News by Shaw News Sauce Experience, man. In the building. Team Tucker official on deck. What's good with it, man? Definitely go up there and support this brother. You know what I'm saying? The media marketing agent, amongst other hats that he's wearing. Salute to you, brother. Keep on doing your thing. Team Tucker official in the building. He says one trick pony. Yeah, man. And, you know, we're going to talk about the ponies. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about the ponies. That would be some foul business if Errol get a title shot before Bud. Well, as you already know, Carlos, boxing is what? What? Grimy, foul, everything that is considered a synonym to that. Okay? That's what we're talking about. So, as of late, you all probably seen it go down. You know what I'm saying? Fondor hand raised high in the sky. You know what I'm saying? He fought Tszyu. Sebastian Fundora, Tszyu, that fight was not an upset, people. I don't know why people run with titles and talk about an upset. Nobody thought Tszyu was going to run over Fundora. Fundora wasn't no bum. Yeah, he got stopped by Brian Mendoza. Okay, like I said, style makes fights, right? Nobody thought Fundora was going to go in here and run over or dismantle, dominate Tszyu. He didn't dominate Tszyu. The blood came from a cut. Yeah, he was sticking with the jab, but Tszyu landed some great power shots of his own. It was a back and forth scuffle. It was a great fight, man. Tszyu is not no punk, man. He was a duck. Quack, quack. Quack, 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 quack. Quack, 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 quack. He is definitely a duck. Them feathers on top of your head, they split easy. You know what I'm saying? He was planning on fighting Errol Spence. But see, that's what happened when you don't put your ducks in a row. You know what I'm saying? You just running amok all through the pond. Quack, quack, quack. And then you run into a motherfucking giraffe. A giraffe is not trying to fly with you. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to step on your ass to get to the next step. That's what a giraffe does. That's what Sebastian Fundora did. I like the fight as a whole. I did. You know what I'm saying? You know, Tszyu ran into the elbow, sliced him up real nice. His cut man should have been using some adrenaline 1000. He was using adrenaline 5.3 and a half. Shit didn't stop anything. Maybe he should blame his cut man and fire his ass. Because how can you come to the arena and you don't have nothing to stop any cuts? You don't have something to really stop any cuts. Come on, bro. You need to get rid of him yesterday. But overall, as the fight, Fundora showed he had a beard. He got clocked with some nice solid punches from Tszyu. And he took them. I mean, popping his head back, everything. He took them shots. Fundora, you know, very... So often, there was moments when Fundora used his combinations. But for a short, I'm talking about, you getting a call, the phone ringing, for a last minute opponent. Hey man, I gotta commend his team for prepping him and getting him ready to go in there and jab, jab, jiggity jab, jab, jab. He threw about 7,433 jabs yesterday. He had a game plan. Stick to the fundamentals. What Buddy McGirt say? Nothing beats the fundamentals. Nothing beats the fundamentals. You know what I'm saying? Nothing beats the fundamentals. That's what Tszyu used. I mean, that's what Fundora used against Tszyu, the fundamentals. So much to the fact that Tszyu was scrambling to try to find entry. He was trying to way to gain entry past that jab consistently. And the only way he could do it is just take risk. And though he had success with taking the risk, closing distance, getting around that jab, he just couldn't stay on the inside with Fundora. And you can attribute that to the blood that was leaking, you know, his impaired vision. But overall, the fight, I enjoyed it. Real talk, I enjoyed the main event. It absolutely lived up to all the hype and expectations. It was bloody. You know what I'm saying? It was bloody. The T-Mobile massacre, you know what I'm saying, had gotten these guys prepared. You know what I'm saying? The ghost of Crawford was in the building. You know what I'm saying? The man who put T-Mobile massacre on the map, he was in the building. The ghost of Crawford was in the building. Because rightfully, he is the one that's supposed to get the winner of that. He's the one supposed to get the winner of Fundora and Tszyu. But then you have these varmints. You have these varmints that choose to crawl to the surface because they heard EJ, EJ, EJ. And they want to goddamn pick their little beady eyes up through the goddamn sewer crates. And now they want to say, and they want to voice their opinion as to who they believe should get next shot. You know what I'm saying? That's what varmints do. They just scurry around and they show up when least expected, and you don't even know why they're there. Well, all of a sudden, all it took was for EJ to send a tweet. He sent the tweet out and say, I'm going to Vegas, I want the winner. But deep down in the way I feel, in my heart, EJ really don't want this fight with Fundora. EJ supposedly put up a ticket saying he bet on Fundora. I want to see the front of the ticket. You know, I don't believe EJ want that fight with Fundora. Hey, EJ take that fight with Fundora, it should be after Crawford. You know what I'm saying? It should be after Crawford. Fundora is the WBC, WBO Unified 154-pound champion. What better fight to have than the current reigning, defending, undefeated 40 victories, 0 defeats, and many coming by way of knockout, hailing out of Omaha, Nebraska, Terrence Bud Crawford. That's the one that should be fighting for the unified titles at 154. Not this guy that Crawford's already dispersed, dismantled, decimated, destroyed, and dominated. No, buddy. No, buddy. No. You need to get in line. Everybody else talk about the line with every other fighter, but when it comes to Crawford, they want to talk about what should happen. And this is why it should happen. You cowards still talking about line placement or what Crawford don't deserve. Haven't y'all got enough, or y'all punch drunk? Crawford sent out a tweet, you lost, sir. Got to work your way back up. Facts. Serious? At Errol Spence, nigga, you look like a linebacker, my guy. We'll get back to that one. At Errol Spence, sorry, buddy, you got to wait in line, sir. He said, buddy and sir. Buddy and sir. Errol Spence, I don't know, champ. I don't do lines. But you do routes. Right there, EJ. You might not do lines, but you do routes, right? Huh, EJ? You do routes, right? You with the easy route, right? You don't do lines, but you do routes. But the bad thing about this is 154 pounds. They don't have that motherfucking route you're looking for. So you up here, just because they put a new battery in your back, you want to go over here and talk about you flying into Vegas and hop through the ropes, smiling and shit. I thought I was looking at a motherfucking ice glacier up in that bitch. When you smiled, I thought I was in motherfucking at the equator. I thought I was an Eskimo by trade. I started to go out there and put on all my gear and goddamn, I'm ready. I'm an explorer right now. I'm about to go on an ice exploration. For real. I put on my Pooh Shiesty. I put on a chinchilla. Got all my cold weather gear. Got some axes, my picks. I'm going climbing glaciers. All of a sudden it got chilly, goddammit. For real, for real. He talking about he don't do lines, but you do routes. Okay? You do routes. And as we go back to that route, brother, you took the easy route before you had to face that monster. I know inside, man, you might have been smiling and shit, but deep down to your core, you remember the night in question there, EJ. EJ remember the night in question, y'all? That nigga remember all of that shit. He remember? He coming there talking about, now you gotta, you know, you're dealing with the big dog. No. How can you be the big dog? I mean, it's not like you wasn't weighing what you was weighing before the Crawford fight like you are now. You look like you damn near ready for cruiserweight. Crawford put the tweet out Nigga, you look like a linebacker. So you might have been in the yoga studio lifting weights. You must have been over there at the UK. You and Anthony Joshua doing bench press, barbell bench press and shit. Y'all must be on that goddamn bodybuilding tip. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how you look under the clothing, if you in shape or not. But we seen that before. Just go back. Before the Bud Crawford fight, we seen you, man. We seen you already. Wasn't it the Frank Martin fight you was at? We seen you like that, wearing the baby blue. We seen that shit before. But what we need to help people realize, especially them aerosexuals, right, is the fact that you can't selectively pick and choose when you want to try to dictate shit that you was criticizing Crawford for. You can't dictate and choose terms. You can't do that shit. Y'all was up here talking about Crawford don't deserve this, he ain't did shit. He didn't have too much of anything, you know, that y'all would agree with. Regardless of him being undisputed already, y'all say he didn't fight nobody. Y'all didn't care that Julius Ndongo was undefeated. Y'all didn't care, bro. All you said was he was nobody. All y'all doing is kept on bringing up freaking Yokis Gamboa, Igis Kavalaskis. You know what I'm saying? You said the man hadn't fought nobody. Then finally he steps in there and split the ropes and split Spence freaking eyeballs. You know what I'm saying? He beat the cataracts into them motherfucking pupils. He beat him up. Do you know what it took for them to get him to fly in? He had to get cleared medically before he went to Vegas. Man over there got the chills, perspiring, shaking, like he was withdrawing from shit. Just the mere fact of he had to think about being in the proximity of T-Mobile massacre. He just wasn't ready for that yet. They all had a plan, y'all. Them aerosexuals always try to come up with this new freaking Sam I Am cookbook and say, this is what we cooking next. Yes, we got Tszyu. And Tszyu is going to fight Errol Spence because Errol Spence is the bigger attraction. You think? Oh, for real? You think Errol Spence is the biggest attraction, huh? Y'all used to criticize Crawford for not even doing media. But Crawford defeats Spence. Spence goes on vacation. Don't talk. Don't say anything. Don't give a damn about his fans or anybody else in the public. He comes out, do a live stream where he goes live and just have the camera showing his bogus ass eye surgery. Didn't say nothing to his fans. Then, check this out. Then he says, I'm going to Vegas. He didn't really say that to his fans. He just put it out there. Going to Vegas, I want to win. And he shows a shark. Right? Because I could have sworn he was the big fish. He talked about Moby Dick in Beverly Hills, right? But he shows a shark that looked like Crawford got a hold of it earlier in his career too. And Crawford beat the fuck out that shark too. That's what I seen. He put a shark up there on the video to look like that motherfucker ain't fucking with nobody except trying to eat. Got scars all over him. I guess that was supposed to be like, oh man, you know, I'm the big fish. We win some, we lose some. You know what I'm saying? Battered, bruised, but we still keep coming. I think that's what he was trying to say. You know, I earned my stripes. And yes, Spence has earned his stripes. Absolutely. Spence has earned his stripes, people, no doubt about it. He's earned that shit. You know what I'm saying? But so have Crawford. Crawford be the pound for pound fighter. Spence didn't be the pound for pound fighter. Spence couldn't even get in there with Pacquiao. His eye fell apart. Thanks to McAlooey. Then he went in there with Ugas. He could be the pound for pound fighter, but the pound for pound fighter beat him. Once again, Errol couldn't be the pound for pound fighter, but a pound for pound fighter beat him. Did y'all hear me? He could not be the pound for pound fighter, but a pound for pound fighter beat him. So how is he not what EJ a pot to piss in at the end of the day? He ain't making no moves. He ain't the one that's the shot caller. He's not. Y'all up here talking about how he stole something from Bud. Who was the promotion? Come on, man. Y'all acting like this special ed all over again, man. Y'all looking for the helmets and the motherfucking bus you riding, man. Number dash. Yeah, that's it right there. And you're on the next bus. The number dot. Yeah. I ain't know dot was a number. It is today. Number dot. Okay. You, letter 3. Yeah, letter 3. I thought 3 was a number. It's a letter today. Y'all keep on acting like EJ is calling the shots. How? How do you even run that across your tongue to think that this man's calling the shots? And there's a PBC card. You think he's calling the shots? Where's the contract? How do y'all know Spence is going to be able to make the fight, man? It's March. When is this fight happening? When is the official? Next, you're going to have these cats out here putting out bogus-ass fight dates. Spence and Fundora set the fight in June. Rematch clause. Texas Stadium. Look, like I said yesterday, somebody said that Spence want to take him to Texas, right? I'm pretty sure he does, because he wants to get back in the good graces of his people. So he want to die in his hometown. That's all. And he don't want Crawford to be the one to close the casket in Texas, because Crawford too big for Texas. Crawford will fight in Vegas. He don't want Crawford to close the casket. He want to go over there with Fundora. If I ain't gonna do anything, I'm getting no fight, man. If I'm taking my fight back to Texas, it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be Fundora, man. You know, I had some good fights, man. It's gonna be Fundora to close the casket on me in Texas. Texas have a lot of Mexican fan base, and they're gonna really sell tickets and all that. See, he wanted to go back to San Antonio so they can talk about ticket sales again, y'all. Saudi Arabia been kind of pretty much expunging all that shit. Saudi Arabia have been erasing just like a chalkboard. They have gotten rid of the language that was being abused on the YTC. Always talking about numbers, pay-per-view, pay-per-view, pay-per-view. Goddamn numbers. But look, I pulled the motherfucking mental telescope out. I said to myself, I know that's what the Aerosexuals are trying to do again. They want to talk about San Antonio and EJ going back to the stadium, AT&T Stadium. He's going to sell it out. EJ's back. He's going to sell it out. He's going to sell it out. Bud can't sell out AT&T Stadium. Look, he ain't trying to sell out AT&T Stadium. Nor does he want to go there just to prove a point that he'll beat Spence again in the rematch. Let me get back to the hottest chat in the MFing game. Shout out to the Oracle himself. Trick MFing Noti is in the building. What's good with the Trick? Fundora and his sister are the only brother and sister champs at the same time in the history of boxing. No doubt, man. Give it up for them. Give it up for them. Thanks for dropping that nugget, Carlos. Thanks for dropping that nugget. Salute and congrats to Fundora. Like I said, I don't have no problem with Fundora and what he did last night, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy for him and his sister. Real talk. They made history. Fundora is legitimately the unified champion, bro. The reason why I got mad love for Fundora because he should have got a title shot, and punk ass Mel Charlo, man, they didn't let him defend any of that shit he was supposed to defend the WBC. You know what I'm saying? They got his ass in recess now. And they kept on feeding Fundora until he got stopped. And they knew what they did. So that's why they turned around and gave that man a WBC title shot against that other guy he was going to fight. When Mel Charlo decided to take a vacation after winning his freaking Olympic debut in track and field. Both of them were bloody. I thought I was watching Mickey Ward versus Turo Gotti. You couldn't have thought that now. Come on now. You couldn't have thought that, Carlos. Come on now. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was a good fight. It was a real good fight. Seriously. Shout out to Juice in the building. Happy Easter to everybody that's on deck. If y'all even know what Easter is and how you reflect on it and everything. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to face. And I thought Tszyu looked a little taller, in that motherfucking ring. For real. Fundora wasn't towering as it looked when they standing still. For real, he just didn't look that way. The only thing that kind of got to me was the fact that Fundora was able to measure, keep that jab on a piston. Keep on, just slingshotting. Boom, 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 boom. All of it wasn't just, thrown with full force. He was just sticking to the fundamentals. Fundamentals. Keeping it in Tszyu's face. Every now and then he'll throw a combination or he go to the body. But Tszyu, he took risk in there, man. He did. Through the blood and all that, he took risk. He chose to fight Fundora. He could have ducked him like he did Crawford. But he wanted to fight Fundora because they enticed him with a motherfucking belt. You say the WBC is going to be there, mate? Yeah. It's going to be for 2 belts. What you think there, Tszyu? What you think? Huh? You like it? The sexuals have been resurrected on this Easter Sunday. Shaking my head. Now they talking nepotism over qualification. I can't handle this BS. So they want to talk about nepotism. And that's been the case over there at PBC forever and a day, y'all. And all of a sudden they want to talk about nepotism. Was it not nepotism when he fought Sean Porter? Was it not nepotism when he put out to the world that he was taking the easy route? And Bud asked him, so he didn't mention my name. No, he didn't mention it. Was that not MF and nepotism? Huh? Was that not nepotism, y'all? That was absolutely nepotism. How all of a sudden they was talking about Errol Spence being qualified. He did all the heavy lifting, y'all. He did all the heavy lifting. That's a qualification, right? He's the IBF, WBC, and WBA world champion. He's qualified. He's qualified to be the A-side. Ain't that what they were saying? He's qualified to be the A-side. He's the bigger ticket seller. He put butts in the seats. He does all the heavy lifting. Yes, he did. He has done all the heavy lifting, baby. Isn't that a qualification? Yeah, it is. It's a qualification. Right? Isn't that a qualification? That it's a different type of line being drawn with the in-house fights and nepotism. See, these cats continue to want to support the Grand Poobah, but the Grand Poobah, and you could probably run this by Shaw News, the Grand Poobah, if he has in-house fights, his percentage is times what? His percentage is times what? If he had an in-house fights, his percentage, his take home is times what? So why not overpay your fight if you get a percentage of it? Why not have in-house fights so you get a percentage of it? Huh? Help me. It's been nepotism. Will they just find that word? They just discover it? They just discover it? I'm ready to walk away again. Too many MFs are clueless and trying to justify the BS. Hold up now. Hottest chat in the MFing game, man. Conquest, we don't walk away. You don't let these aerosexuals even give you the thought. Just because they decide to scurry themselves back into relevancy, just so they can find some type of damn reason to get back with the embrace, of EJ. Don't you let them run you up out of here, bro. You know what I'm saying? They don't have that much power. You know what I'm saying? They don't have that much power, brother. Shout out to Trick. WCS salute. Remember on Trading Places when Billy Ray Valentine showed up at the bar dressed up and the bartender told him he had the nerve showing up after a long time? That is how Arrow looked. Hey, man. You got to look at it this way, man. They attempt to put, Crawford supporters in a different context. They try to make it seem like, we're totally infatuated with Crawford. No, we just fans. We just diehard Bud Crawford fans. We honestly support him as a fighter. Our belief is in what he's able to accomplish and what he has accomplished, right? But with these varmints, with these varmints, these aerosexuals, they don't know what a fan base consists of. They are a community that support EJ. One of the worst fan base communities ever. They don't know how to organize themselves. EJ can leave, Trick. EJ can leave and take a hiatus. It don't matter. Because look, they're always hoping every day. Please. Has anybody seen anything? Anybody heard? Anybody? They're desperately waiting for EJ to drop some crumbs through the cheese crate. Through the sewer crate, man. They just want to drop some freaking a hamburger bun. A half-eaten hamburger bun. Some leftover beef patty. Some stale Cheetos. You know what I'm saying? Pour a little pickle juice down there. Some old neck bones. Some for them to nibble on. And then they come back like it's day one. They say, oh my God, we love you. Our Lord, our King, our Savior, our God. EJ is back. We love you. That's how dysfunctional they are, man. Trick, you trying to tell me that these fools think EJ is going to beat Fundora? One-dimensional EJ, based off what we seen Tszyu go through. You think that EJ is next up? You know what? I'm going to be a little nefarious with this shit. A little sinister. I'm going to say if that's nepotism, I'm all for it. Yay! Send him in there, goddammit. Send him in there. Blood ain't thicker than water. Send him in there. Go ahead. But send him in there after Bud take those scraps. And he can fight a common opponent of Crawford's. That's what we want, right? We want to see can EJ, because the narrative was that everybody on Crawford's resume EJ can beat. Have Crawford, who is rightfully the next person in line to fight Fundora, Spence can fight him after Crawford's done with him. See, can you fight a common opponent of Terrence Bud Crawford? That's how we can do that shit. That's how we can do that. That's how we can line that up. This shit for the birds, and these groupies eat it up, and they just trying to block at every turn. They don't care about EJ. They just hate Bud that much. Man, factual, bro. Factual, man. That shit is factual, bro. You know what I'm saying? Clear. Clear. You know what I'm saying? It's clear to his understanding, and it's clear when a defibrillator to resuscitate these pharaohs. They happen to be in the light again, y'all. They coming in here demonstrating once again how they the worst fan base in the world. They claim they know boxing, but they all about cutting lines, and they was the same ones trying to hold Crawford to a standard, their biased ass standard, but all of a sudden they're going against all of that shit. They want EJ to do everything that's against the code or the restrictions that they was trying to put on Crawford back a couple of years ago. You know what that's called, right? It goes in the same area and get flushed. That's called bullshit. It don't necessarily have to be from a bull. It can be from a goddamn human. It can be from an aerosexual. They are trying to put all this shit on Crawford. Once again, they're trying to say it's okay for Spence to be next up without giving Spence the same criticism they gave Crawford, saying he wasn't deserving of fighting Errol Spence, even though he had the accolades. He had the accolades, y'all. He earned it. He had the accolades, but they didn't want to respect it. They didn't want to respect it. Real talk, they didn't want to respect it. It's bad, but they didn't want to respect it. A bunch of bullshit. Let me get back to these comments. They've been popping their heads out on Facebook like 154 gonna make a difference. Shred them, Carlos. God damn it. Shred them like motherfucking taco beef on that motherfucking dog. You know what I'm saying? They think 154 pounds are gonna be a significant difference when you're gaining 195 to 200. You're gaining up to 195, 200 pounds. You know what I'm saying? It's going to make a difference. What they going to say? Well, he still wasn't able to recover from being weight drained last year in a tough fight week where he was running up Mount Charles. No, we don't want to hear that shit, man. Hey, a part of me is like this. If they want to try to cut corners and go in there and believe once again this is the easy route for him, EJ deserves everything that's about to happen to him. If they want to take another easy route, absent other qualifications, well, you need to go back and take a look at Rolly Romero's fight that was on the co-main event there, EJ, or the fight that you attended that you watched. Go back and see how he got beat up. That was another person that took the easy route. That's another person that's taking the easy route. See, Crawford's not taking the easy route. He's administratively doing it the correct way. The correct way that should be respected. You want to take a second easy route. Your fans, they seen what happened when you took the easy route the first time. And they definitely going to see what happened when you take the easy route the second time. They seen it the first, and they're going to see it the second. You have to start with shapes and colors with the aerosexuals. Hey, man, all they know is gray and brown and white, man. Gray, brown, white. You know what I'm saying? And dusty booger. You know, you got to throw that color in there, dusty booger. That's the ones that got crust all on and shit, just be waddling around and all that shit. Call it Dusty Booger. Shout out 402, what's good? WCS trying to figure out why I'm not getting notifications from your channel. I don't know, but check this out. I can't do nothing about like why they not, because there's some channels I don't get notifications from any. I just happen to see them, you know, online. I don't get notifications either from some of these channels. You know what I'm saying? I can't change it. Saudi ain't do a damn thing. Saudi is there for UK boxing. They could give them a damn about US boxing. Bud will end up signing with PBC in 3 fights that ends all of this. Bro, let me first of all remove your comment from being seen. I don't want that freaking resonating too much. Okay? You're saying that the Saudis is not doing a damn thing, but yet they got an unlimited budget. Furthermore, they're putting together fights, and they have boxing attention because shit ain't going on in 2024. You know what I'm saying? You busy got people up here talking about like yourself that's talking about they ain't doing a damn thing when they can make the big fights because their budget is different. Their budget is different. Francis Ngannou just got paid $20 million to take a dive. The motherfucker to go out in the second round. I don't know why you explaining that shit to me, because I said in Saudi Arabia nobody's talking about the pay-per-view numbers. The arena is not stacked. People can't go take a little flight or a bus, a Greyhound bus over there. So for them to for the content creators to not be talking about the numbers, don't come up here and talk about, oh man, Fundora and Spence is gonna sell out AT&T. They're not gonna sell out shit. They're gonna sell out the capacity of the amount of tickets that they're gonna sell. How Bud did them dirty, I think the capacity is probably gonna be around 749 tickets they're gonna sell. They might, you know, about 749 tickets, you know what I'm saying, out of 800. They're gonna have to comp the rest. You know what I'm saying? The stadium is gonna be empty. It's gonna be plenty of sections that's taped off. You just got to deal with it. You just have to deal with it, man. They're trying to say, well, you know, that's how you get them back at the top. I'm all about a Cinderella story. Okay? Real talk. WCS is all about a Cinderella story, I tell you. But it's a part of me that don't like, you know, this particular Cinderella, because Bud pretty much beat Spence with the left slipper and the right fucking slipper. You know what I'm saying? So that pretty much do away with the Cinderella story of Errol Spence making a comeback. See, they didn't even ask him. They was briefed already, y'all. They didn't ask him no tough questions post-fight. Fondora's up there like, I got my belt. Yeah, I'll fight him. You know who he remind me of? Fundora remind me of Sean Porter. When EJ jumped in there and told me, I want to fight you next, after he beat Danny Garcia for the WBC title, the vacant, right? He said, yeah, I'll fight you next. He didn't fight him next. You know, he didn't fight him next, dog. He just gave my answer, bro. Shout out to the OG, Mr. Golden in the building. What's good with it, man? Dan on deck. What's good? Miguel on deck. Man, Spence pissed me off so bad I had to go back and watch that T-Mobile Massacre to make me feel better. Oh man, somebody done polluted Jessica. She used to come over here and don't even type that much, y'all. She wasn't even tempered like this now. See, Jessica, you're a perfect example of what happened when you hang around and you're able to listen to both sides. Now you've been going in here throwing fireballs, man. Swinging Louisville sluggers when you come on deck. You gotta decompress there, Jessica. Decompress. You got to decompress. The virus, the YTC virus has gotten a hold of you. You got to take your one-a-days. You got to take your one-a-days. Because listen to this shit right here. It'll definitely get you sick. You know what I'm saying? It'll definitely get you feeling some type of way. Because you're saying to yourself, right? Okay, I got a certain level a certain level of respect for boxing, right? And then you see these cats that's claiming they're the best on YouTube and they're doing this, and you hear them come out their mouth talking about EJ. He deserves. PBC blackballing him. They respect what they saying about blackball. They're talking about being a hardcore boxing fan, but you're overlooking the qualifications and being extremely discriminatory and prejudiced from a guy who's living a fighter's lifestyle and went in there and beat your favorite guy. And y'all too pussy to sit up here and stand on something with merit, integrity. You know what I'm saying? Show that you have some type of moral compass. Y'all niggas don't want to stand that because it's easy for you to get together. You know what I'm saying? Have a meeting up under the motherfucking sliding board. And then say, this is the plan, y'all. We're going to start talking some bullshit again. EJ's back. EJ's back. You saw him on TV. Yeah, I was so warm inside. I had to work on my breathing. Oh, man, I was just panting, trying to cool myself down. He's back, y'all. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to start talking about, the Crawford, he ain't, the same usual MO, right? Okay, everybody got that? Same MO. All right, cool. On 3. 1, 2, 3, break. That's what they do, y'all. These are so-called hardcore boxing fans who are up here vouching and co-signing and cheering that EJ jumped the line. EJ is being afforded the opportunity per rumor mill for a fight next. No one really has no contract or no term sheet in hand at all. They don't. But they up here talking about, oh man, once again, qualifications don't matter. Because look, it was cool when EJ was collecting the belts. But it's a problem when Crawford has all of them. Now, they want to sit up here and welcome EJ back. Mr. Spence, we welcome you back for 154-pound orientation. We hear that you may potentially be next up for Tszyu and Fundora winner. Okay, now word that came in is Fundora. So, Mr. Spence, what we would advise you, if you want to have a couple of more years longevity in the sport, you might not want to take this fight. You know what I'm saying? Because we've seen that Crawford, the ghost of Crawford in the ring while Tszyu and Fundora was going on. That's not a good sign there, Spence. We're thinking that Fundora beats you just as bad. They're not looking for him, man. They about to destroy Spence, man. They're about to destroy Spence, man. These cats up here talking about qualifications don't matter all of a sudden when these cowards was up here talking about 3 belts. 3 belts? All you heard was heavy lifting. And then when the second round hit, it was called heavy lifting. When Spence was lifting himself off the motherfucking canvas. You can see the soles of his motherfucking shoes. Nigga had on red bottoms. How in the hell are you going to sit up here and ignore Crawford's qualifications when he earned it in one of the biggest fights of this era? How you going to ignore that? How you going to just ignore what he was able to accomplish? Why would you do that to yourself? Seriously, why would you do that to yourself? Why would you do it to yourself, calling yourself a hardcore, diehard fanatic of boxing, But then you want to switch up each and every time when your Lord, your King, your Savior, your God has returned. How can you do that? That's blasphemy. That's disrespectful. I just don't like that sucker. Hey, Jessica, the lone wolf over here, the lone man. Hey, Jessica, the lone female queen, man. She has been converted. She is not about the BS anymore. She say, I am sick of being sick. I'm talking. I'm speaking up. But I appreciate you. Shout out to Jessica in the building. Not to mention they contradicted themselves on the rematch expiration date. I pay attention. Hey, enlighten us on the contradiction there, Conquest, please. Because right now, we pretty much understand that, you know, sometimes you have to address the imbeciles. You have to address the less fortunate. You know, you have to address those that you have to chaperone. You know what I'm saying? Through this education of life when it comes to boxing. You have to chaperone them, babysit them, micromanage, man. You can't let them be out here by themselves without any supervision. You have to pay and keep close attention to them, because they will get together and they'll come out here and start talking about areas of boxing that we thought was just mandatory. Qualifications are mandatory, right? But all of a sudden, qualifications ain't mandatory when it comes to Crawford again, because they're all about blackballing. How can qualifications not be a topic of discussion for the right reason? Just because y'all want to stand behind somebody who you was behind before that let you down, and you still haven't got over it, nothing will work. That's just bad, man. Y'all hold on for a second. What's going on, MD Mills in the building? I see you, bro. Salute to you. Yeah, man. She said she just she don't like that sucker. That's funny. That was hilarious, man. Oh, I just don't like that sucker, man. She said I don't like that sucker. Let me remove this comment and put it out there once again that Crawford has pretty much made his voice known. He sends out some tweets and he let it be known. You know what I'm saying? He let it be known. I am dropping a link for anybody who has anything to say. Jessica, if you choose to, you know, say anything for the first time on here, you're more than welcome. You know what I'm saying? But I am dropping the link. And this is for aerosexuals. But first, it's for the hottest chat in the MFing game. You know what I'm saying? I just want to hear what y'all have to say when it comes down to Crawford doing everything he's supposed to do. But all of a sudden, haven't really been seen or heard consistently since July 29th. Then, now they want to strip down the qualifications and achievement that Crawford did last year, July 29th, as if it don't matter, to basically justify putting Errol Spence in a position to fight the winner, which is Fundora. That's not cool. It lacks mental stability at the end of the day. It shows psychological dilapidation. It tells me you need an Allison, you need up, because you all are playing boxing. You all are playing around, and you think if you put out this type of information, it's going to get an arousal from Crawford supporters. No, you're not arousing me or anything. I'm just looking at you like you know, for who you are. Y'all playing the game. All you're doing is playing, you know, tag, you're it. You know what I'm saying? Nanny nanny boo boo type shit. That's all I get from y'all. Y'all not keeping it neutral and saying, you know, truth be told, Crawford should get the shot next. But if he doesn't get the shot, I would like to see Spence jump in there. But I'm gonna be honest, it's gonna be a tough fight. This, that, and the other. No. They want to say, oh man, throw Spence in there. Why? Because we just want to see him back in the ring. That's not the fight he need to take coming back, bro. Not after what I seen from Fundora. He can take a pretty good shot, man. And you moving up 154 pounds, and just like they said earlier in the chat, they talking about that like that's a big jump. Like that's a big difference. Truth be told, he's still fighting 147, really. Because he was fighting 154 on fight night against Crawford. And Crawford beat 154 pound Spence. You know what I'm saying? He beat 160 pound Spence. He beat him. He beat him. And then I heard these varmints up here talking about, it's not a shocker that they was talking about this. It's not a shocker. Boy. They try to revisit, y'all. They try to revisit all the concessions that Crawford had placed. Now, it's not like Crawford forced anything like that. It's not like Crawford forced any concessions. But now they starting to bitch and complain about the coin flip. You know, Crawford walking out when he walked out. You know, and all that. Now this is a topic, and that shit happened last year. Shout out to my guy, the News by Shaw News, in the building. What's good with it, brother?
Hey, WCS, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Yeah, I want to say, man, I in a way, I'm happy that the snake Spence is doing what he's doing, because it's validation. You know, I was on solid. I wasn't this, I wasn't that. But now a lot what I've spoken about is playing out. He cuts lines or whatever. What was his line?
I don't stand in line or something. I don't do lines.
Yeah, I don't do lines. Yeah, I don't do lines. Yeah, we know that already, brother. It's the hide and seek, but it's glad that you came back out. You know, happy to see you back out, but you still goofy and you ain't standing on no business. But a lot of your followers and idol worshippers, Raji, Namba, Raji, they ain't holding you accountable. Never have, brother. Never have. But like I said, it's validation for the source experience, for the news, by Shaw News, man. Because I still standing on my square, still got my sword, and I still cut your head off, Snake, Spence, or Truth, whatever you go by. Are you a shark? Are you a big dog? You're confusing, to say the least. Last time I checked, a shark can't be a dog. You know, dogs like water, but they don't swim underwater.
Exactly, man. I don't get it either. But let me ask you this, though. You know, Spence has somewhat of a resurgence, you know, of the Dum Dum crew. His fan base has returned. Now, seeing him in the ring with Fundora after you watching the fight like I did, what advice would you give the people, you know, about how this fight might turn out after watching Fundora and Tszyu have a bloody freaking, you know, back and forth scrap? You know what I'm saying? What advice would you give for this fight if you was his, being that you hold down those positions where you can make calls and connections? What advice would you give to Spence in this fight?
Well, I'm gonna say this. From watching a lot of your content and from what I've been listening to and what I've been told, the fight is going to take place in Dallas.
Yeah.
And we all know when Spence fights in Dallas, he gets that special Texas tea. So
yeah,
he should be all right. He's going to get that Texas tea in him, right?
So you said he might be able to close a deal.
Yeah. When he gets that Texas tea in him, he's not running hills the week before the fight or 3 days before the event. He's a shredded action figure.
Hey, my second question though, talking about that Texas tea, do you know any names of potential coaches or trainers that might be next for him? Because we have heard that he is split from Diddy James. So who would you think his next landing spot would be over there?
Well, I want to say this. Somebody told me, right, that is close to the Spences and the Spence, that's all a rumor, that he's still cool with Derek. So I don't know. Yeah, that's what they said.
Okay.
That's what they're saying. But we have to wait to see. Nobody got an interview in or nothing with him yesterday. I found that odd till he was out there, but
none of them.
No media scrum.
Fight hype. No fight hype. No. None of them got an interview. All these aerosexuals, nobody got an interview. I wonder why.
Yeah. That was mind blowing to me. It was like, did they bring him in just for an appearance? And that was the games are just not with his fan base. It's within the camp itself. If they are playing games with Diddy James faking this freaking beef, they better damn well come in here with a solid game plan for Fundora. I know that. Looking at them both in the ring, I don't think he could beat Fondora, man. I think he's a shell of himself, man. I'm just waiting to hear the excuses when Fondora gets on his head in Dallas. What was wrong with him? I just think Crawford, the jig is up, man. Crawford beats you up so bad that you don't even know how to be goofy no more. Like you jumped in the ring, you forgot you was the shark. You said you was the big dog. I'm like, bro, how? You got beat up the last time you was at T-Mobile. I don't know no big dogs that get whooped. You know what I'm saying? At the site of the crime, and they're still the big dog. Like, it don't work that way. You got.
I guess you get a pass that shot news if you're the big dog for the first time in that area, because the last time he was there, he was the big fish. So now he's the big dog. He's using it for the first time. So maybe that's how he can transition.
Yeah, well, I guess he's still the biggest. But
big fish, big dog, big strap season.
To me, that was just, I was like, man, you was hiding for damn near half a year, and you resurfaced. Like, you could have came with a different identity, man. Like, it's nothing big about you no more, man. Crawford chopped you down to size, man. And then, I don't know if you caught this, WCS, when he had the audacity to say, we'll break him down like we always do. Another thing that mind boggled me, like, last time you was in T-Mobile Arena, you didn't break down nothing. You was the one that got broken down. What are you talking about, man? What are you talking about, guy? Like, come on.
That shit's confusing, dog.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
It's like Jessica said, I'm just tired. I don't like that sucker. I don't know what he's talking about. What I heard him, somebody last night said that he came in there intoxicated. I couldn't tell if he was intoxicated or not. I just know he was smiling too much and he wasn't saying shit funny. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I don't want to put that on the brother's jacket no more, because when I did, you remember all the names I was called.
Yeah.
And then he came out and admitted to it. So I don't know, man. I just know he was in there. He was happy-go-lucky. He was the big dog, but I thought he was a shark. he breaks him down. But last time he was in that arena, he got broken down. I was like, Jessica, I was confused, man. I was like, did somebody give this guy the wrong cue cards? Because he's not adding up right now. You know, he's not adding up.
Somebody gave him the wrong cue cards, man. God dang, man.
He just like, he talking about breaking things down in that arena. So you got broke down in that arena. Like, what are you talking about, man? You're confusing the fans, man. You see how the fans received him. You see how they received him, and they didn't like. It wasn't like the Spence that we know. Like when he said he wants to fight Fondor, it wasn't no outroar cry and, you know, people cheering. It sounded like a couple boos came up, man.
Mm-hmm. It was more than a couple now.
But hey,
it was more than a couple.
It is what it is. And I want to say this since I'm on WCS's show, and you guys feel free to debunk this. But, you know, my inside sources is telling me, you know, he owes Jerry a couple fights, so that's why the fight is going to Dallas. You know, Jerry.
I mean,
Jerry
I can understand
a couple of strings for him.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember you told me that a ways ago about that. You know that what he get a DWI? Him plead guilty to DWI, and potentially Jerry Jones. You know, working that out a little bit. I get it. But you know, my thing is like, let's not talk about boxing as a business anymore when you have individuals promoting just, you know, cutting corners, and the person that's actually earned the spot, he's unpopular. So we don't want to give him the benefit of the doubt that he deserves next up. No, we're going to put the popular guy, well, used to be popular guy that we're trying to get him back in the limelight. We're going to talk about what we want to happen. So they're not even sticking to the code, the format, the honor system. I know the sport don't have that, but they're always talking about how boxing is a business and this supposed to happen, and Crawford ain't sold no tickets. But now he steps in there, he sold enough tickets for Spence, beat him bad, and now they back to where they was back at square one prior to July 29th, talking about what Crawford ain't did. You know, qualifications don't matter. You know, PBC, Al Heyman paying Crawford back, blackballing him. No, that's not the way business of boxing should be, man.
Yeah, I just want to say this too, since you brought up the popular guy thing, right? I think Earl Spence is the popular YouTube guy for the YouTube community.
Yeah.
When we look at the masses, and since that fight has taken place, and we talk really about popularity, I do recall seeing Terrence Crawford on the Hollywood Walk of Fame with guys like Curtis Jackson, aka 50 Cent, and Snoop Dogg and Eminem and Dr. Dre, rubbing elbows with these type of guys. We're talking about popular now, right? Earl Spence, you know, we did see him get rolled out of a wheelchair and say, "Ooh, who did?" And you know, we really, I don't. Is Earl Spence more popular than Terrence Crawford at this point? To be honest, is he? Like,
yes, that's a good question.
You know, is he, man? Like, where has Earl Spence really been to say that he's still that popular, other than the YTC gossip circle? You know
how these cats always talking about how Crawford ain't did anything in the ring. He had to wait to get out of the contract, right? But as we have witnessed, Crawford's been everywhere, man. Crawford's been this place, that place, doing media all over the place. We have not seen that from Spence. We have not seen him out and about, besides putting up goofy looking stills, you know, selfies and stuff, talking about I'm punching passports and, you know, giving the broke thing again like the Charlos. Oh, y'all broke. I'm punching passports. I'm doing this. Okay. All right, cool. We get it.
And to be honest, we haven't even really been seeing no content on him from none of his guys. Now, I know some of them popped out of their rabbit holes now, you know, but 6 months, man, July 29th, man, we had to send SOS and distress calls out for these guys, man.
Yeah.
Couldn't find them nowhere, man. I thought some of these guys might have got locked up. Yeah. I thought some of these guys might have been in jail. Not wishing jail on nobody, but I'm like, damn, these brothers fell off the map. Did they get incarcerated or something? They take a little vacation.
What happened?
Yeah.
Did the debt man come over there and collect the debt with a Louisville Slugger? Where they at? You know what I'm saying?
But I see, like, shout out to EJ. He put some stuff out. These guys came right back out. They happy. Oh, he stole the fight. He stole it from Terrence. Terrence ain't nothing. Did he steal a fight? Or did he come out of hiding and trying to sneak in the back door like he does, man? Like,
exactly, man.
What did he steal?
These grown ass men talking about he's stealing a fight, man, and they're not even part of the boxing business, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, y'all should hit Shot News up and tell them, you know, certain parts of the business that just don't go that way. I understand where they coming from. They putting all their faith and love and religious support in the Grand Poobah. That's all. The Grand Poobah makes everything go around for them. You know, so if EJ is up there on a PBC Amazon Prime promotion, you know who they're gonna cheer for. You know who they're gonna glorify? Al Heyman. That's all. Al Heyman put him in the spot. Al Heyman's powerful. Well, why couldn't Al Heyman stop that fight July 29th?
Well, I'm gonna just say this. Early reports are showing Al Heyman is so powerful that the WBO said, all right, yeah, they can fight, but they won't be fighting for this belt.
Oh snap! IBC that, man. IBC that.
Yeah, he's
that's icy right there. That's icy.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah. He's so powerful. They say, yeah, go ahead, y'all can fight, but it won't be for this belt.
God, man, Crawford did it the right way. And you think the WBO is just gonna leave that man high and dry like the IBF? No, man. I think they I think they have a mutual respect for one another, dog.
For real.
I think the WBO has mutual respect for Crawford, dog.
Well, he put in the work, man. You listen,
they did.
At the end of the day, that's what life is about. Your resume, your accomplishments. When this man is a 2-time undisputed champion, not 1 time, 2-time, and speedy recovery for 2-time Keith Thurman. But Bud Crawford is a 2-time undisputed champion, man. That says it all right there, man. That says it all, man. You know, that's basically 2 weight divisions where he was, and I quote Earl Spence, the top dog.
Absolutely.
The big dog. My bad. The big dog. You know,
he was the big dog. He was the big dog doing all the heavy lifting, collecting the belts, taking eyes, crushing ribs, and then walked through there in that Vegas night. It was a wrap. And it was a wrap, man. You know what I'm saying? And look, I'll tell you like this too, Shot News. I bet Harvey Dock won't be the referee in Texas.
Nah. They looking at what's my guy Jack Reese.
Jack Reese,
Tony Weeks down there.
Jack Reese, Tony Weeks, Lawrence Cole, something.
Yeah,
they're gonna get one of them referees that can stop the fight immediately.
Yeah, they get one of those guys. Now, what's my man's name that's from Dallas? That he had man, I don't want to disrespect him. He was the Ugas ref, man. He waved it all. He's a Dallas guy, man. He's from the Dallas area. Damn.
You talking about the Ugas and Spence fight?
Yeah. Lawrence Cole.
That's Lawrence Cole.
Yeah,
that's what I said. Lawrence Cole.
It'll come to be Lawrence Cole. That's what they
Lawrence Cole, man. Lawrence Cole would stop a fight. Look, Lawrence Cole is a vetted man. His pops was in the game. He can go up here and make these decisions, and he ain't getting fired, man. Nothing's happened to him. He is a made man.
Yeah, I was about to say he's one of the good old boys.
He's a made man.
Yeah, he got the juice, man. He's one of the good.
He got the juice, man. You know they're gonna pull that.
Yeah.
Hey, I wanna read a comment. It say if Spence get beat by Fundora, that's a cherry pick going wrong. I hope he doesn't have PTSD Crawford. So what you think about that? You know, do you believe that what Spence is doing with Fondor is a cherry pick or a desperation or move of desperation?
Listen, I think that it's the safer pick. You know, besides Crawford, does he want to run it back with Crawford? We don't think so. I think Fondora is the safer of the two. I wouldn't say he's a cherry pick, man. Dude is 6'7".
Yep.
If he fights how he fought last night, that is no cherry.
No cherry at all.
The guy showed he had a chin. He showed he was willing to stand in there and bang out. And I heard you talking about it earlier. He throws a mean elbow, man.
He got the blades out, don't he?
Yeah, he throws a vicious elbow, man. So it is what it is, man.
Hey, I don't know who this is. Only the Truth Matters. You on deck, man. What's good?
You gotta unmute your mic.
Your mic is muted, man. 5.
My fault. Yo, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you well.
So, let me get y'all overall perspective. How y'all feel about my boy getting in the ring yesterday, telling him what he told him, though?
What did he tell him, though?
Telling him, like, yo, you in here with the big dog. Like, how y'all feel about that?
Yeah, hopefully you just seen my face, man. It's how's he the big dog? He got scraped, man.
I mean,
understand something. Let me give it to y'all. Perspective where you understand.
I didn't get a chance to answer the question though.
Oh, go ahead. You can answer it. Go ahead.
I didn't think nothing into. I didn't think too much into it. He's just using a. This is a man of.
I can't hear you.
WCS, your mic might have cut off.
Yeah.
WCS, I think your mic cut off.
We can't hear you, bro.
Yeah, we can hear you now. They said no sound in the chat.
Hey, you talking?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can't hear you. Hey, go out and come back in, bro. Can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you well. Right. I'm good. We'll give him time to come back in here. I now the big dog status. It's funny how EJ can say all these terms and people just latch on to him without action. You know what I'm saying? Without action. Like, come on. Go ahead, bro. Speak.
Yeah. So, you was answering the question. I couldn't hear you though.
No, I was just saying it don't mean anything to me because this man has had multiple hashtags. One was the big fish and he didn't live up to it. You know what I'm saying? So the big dog is no different than me. That's my opinion. Okay.
So you got, let's use a basketball term, right? Steph Curry is what, I think 4-2. So what does that mean? His stocks dropped because he lost 2 finals? Like, just because he lost 1 fight, that don't mean he's still not the big dog out of everybody. At the end of the day, put it like this, at 154, who's going to sell out a venue right now at 154? And please don't tell me Terrence Bud Crawford. Please don't.
I mean, you asked the question and then you wanna dress it up, like answer it yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want me to say Terrence Crawford, then I'm not going to tell you Errol Spence either. Because when has he sold out AT&T Stadium?
He sold out AT&T Stadium with Ugas, if I'm not mistaken.
No, you're talking about just the ticket capacity that they had. I'm not talking about that. A lot of Errol Spence fans always talking about him selling out AT&T. He hasn't never sold out AT&T Stadium. He just sold out the capacity of tickets that was available, that was allotted for that fight.
Okay. So again, it goes back to my question: who at 154 would give this young kid the opportunity to make the most money?
It depends on what promoter you're talking about. You're talking about Errol Spence being locked in with PBC, and you're talking about Terrence Crawford being a free agent. So, you're asking an open-ended question as if you want to direct it to the PBC. The PBC don't even have a fight schedule out, bro, at all. But y'all trying to dress it up like who's going to make the most money. Who has the better resume right now to step in there with the Fondor and Tszyu winner? Answer that. Who has the better resume? Who should be stepping in the ring?
Errol Spence.
Okay, Errol Spence, you say that with a high falsetto on the end because you're being sarcastic. I get it. I do that sometime. I get it, bro.
Hold on. You name me anybody that Crawford has fought that any new fan to boxing can name right now. Don't give me Kowalski. Please don't give me no bum-ass Jeff Horn. And don't give me no Kell Brook that was already broken by the time he got to him. So who has he fought?
This is not making any sense. We're not going down that path in reverse.
No.
Who has the better resume?
Who has the better resume? Errol Spence has the better resume.
A pound for pound fighter beat a pound for pound fighter in Errol Spence, and that was Terrence Crawford. Both of them was on the pound for pound list. Who has the better resume? It's Terrence Crawford, man. Don't come up here with all that BS, man. You know it ain't Spence.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
Ain't Spence, bro.
Okay, first of all, if you want to go there, we can stretch and take it further. Crawford wasn't even top during his prime era. Spence was top during his prime era because he ran through everybody and took all the belts.
No,
so what are you saying?
I'm not
Crawford won one belt. He won one belt. Remember that. Crawford won one belt.
Look, I'm talking about the NOW.
For like fucking 4 years.
I'm talking about the now. I ain't talking about all that history in the rearview mirror. We're talking about July 29th. Pound for pound fighters, 2 pound for pound fighters fought each other, and Terrence Bud Crawford beat Spence. And you still up here trying to talk about who has the better resume with one loss.
Listen, it happens. The better man won that night. That don't mean he's the bigger draw than Errol Spence, if that's what you're trying to say.
Oh, he is. He definitely is.
Yo, let me tell you something, man. How? Yo, listen to me. All right, hold on. If he is, okay, let me tell you something. Crawford beat one of the best, as you claim, pound for pounds of this era, right?
No, I said pound for pound fighter. Errol Spence was on the pound for pound list with
Crawford. And I'm gonna answer that. You say Crawford beat him, right? One of the best pound for pounds of this era. Okay, I'll give you that one. How the fuck you go from Errol Spence to being offered an Erickson Lubin fight or a Chris Eubanks fight? Does that sound like a guy that's top during this era? That don't sound like that to me.
Oh, you talking about something? Look,
bro, you can't go from driving a Ferrari to driving a Toyota. It don't work that way.
You ask a question and then you hurry up and you try to.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
You have no argument on this. You have none on this situation because this fight has been built up for years, and they finally stepped in there and got it done, and it was easy work. But yet you're sitting up here trying to validate Spence losing. Saying, hey, listen, hold up, and you still trying to say, look,
you lost the fight before, correct?
So what? If Bud would have lost to Spence, you wouldn't have been coming on here with that same energy. You would have said, yeah, he ain't never fought nobody, and Spence exposed him.
Listen, like I said, all I'm saying is at the end of the day, everybody loses, bro. Tszyu just lost. Listen, if you think Terrence Crawford is going to retire undefeated,
you can kick rocks with that lame motto. Everybody loses, man. Get that
everybody loses. What the fuck is wrong with you? Bro, listen, Crawford can't beat everybody. He can't. It doesn't work that way.
Hey, he's 40-0. 40 have tried, 40 have failed.
Against a bunch of fucking nobody. So let's talk about it.
Okay, so if
outside of Errol Spence. And we're not even mentioning that Spence was out the ring for 14 months. And we're not even mentioning that Spence was out the ring for 14 months. We're definitely not mentioning that, though.
And you talking about with who? Before he fought Crawford?
Bro, he was out the ring for 14 months.
So he fought Ugas April 16, 2022. Right?
Yeah.
So Terrence Crawford fought David Avanesian in December of 2022. Right? So they couldn't come to an agreement. So they end up fighting in July. Okay. So now you're trying to base the time that he was out of the ring when he fought Crawford and you're trying to eliminate the time he was out of the ring before he fought Yordenis Ugas or before he fought Danny Garcia, but you was the same one on here praising his performances on how he beat up Danny Garcia and Yordenis Ugas from being on the same hiatus.
Wait, you was going in and out towards the end. Say that again. My fault.
I say you're talking about him being on a hiatus, right, when it comes to him stepping in there with Crawford. But he was on a hiatus before he faced Yordenis Ugas coming off an eye injury, and he was on a hiatus before he stepped back on this return fight for Danny Garcia. So you can't put that liability on Crawford. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why he had such success, because Spence was out of the ring that long period of time.
Listen to me, bro. Let me explain something to you. If you think Bo Mac and them niggas ain't going to that shit knowing how everything was, you're fucking, bro, it's the fight business. Do you really think these guys are, come on, bro, cut it out, man.
Okay, I'm glad you're mentioning teams now. So
listen,
do you rate Diddy James? Do you rate Diddy James' plan on how they went in there and fought Crawford? Do you grade it a high 10? Do you rate it a high 10? Do you rate it a high 10 on the fight plan they had to go in there and fight Crawford on July 29th? How do you grade that?
Okay, I'm gonna give you the answer.
Without excuses, bro.
I'm gonna give it to you. I don't like the way he fought Crawford. I feel like Spence stayed in the pocket for too long. He should have circled away from the power hand. I was screaming at the fucking TV. Why do you keep coming forward on him? At the end of the day, listen, as an EJ fan, I love him to death, but I still will critique the nigga. He should have done better. He really should have. But I personally don't think he was fully prepared when he got in there. I don't. I think he just went into it with some, it is what it is. I'm going to fuck this nigga up. And sometimes it happens that way. Sometimes you go in there, you underestimate a guy, you come out on the other end of the spectrum. It is what it is. But to sit here and say that no one loses, nigga, everybody gets their ass beat once. Come on.
I never said no one loses. You are stuck on the losing bit because you just want to validate Spence losing to Crawford and to just say, oh, it ain't no big deal. Everybody loses. But he lost to Crawford, though. That was a time when he was supposed to shine. He was supposed to shine.
Yes, he did lose to Crawford. But you have to understand something as well. He lost to Crawford because he didn't make certain adjustments with Crawford. Sometimes it happens that way. Bro, you go back and watch the highlights. The nigga came forward half of the fucking night. He never switched nothing up. He just kept coming forward and pressing it. When it didn't work, he just stuck with the same game plan. So that's obviously a guy that, now, I don't know if there will be a rematch, but this is what I will. Sorry to jump off topic, to put that out there.
How many losses did Spence have before he stepped in there with Crawford last year?
He didn't have none.
He didn't have no losses, so it wasn't broke. It wasn't broke, so they didn't try to fix it.
Listen, it wasn't broke, but wait a minute, though. You got to understand. This is the thing I try to tell people about Crawford. Crawford is a slugger, bro. That style is going to be difficult for any fucking body, unless you're a Canelo at the end of the day, because he's much bigger, and most of them shots, and they probably hit Canelo, when he probably wouldn't fucking fail him anyway. So the thing with Spence is, if a rematch happened, he can beat him, but he just has to tune up certain shit that he does. The coming forward won't work. So that
let me get my guy on here to respond to some of this. You know what I'm saying? Because he's just sitting back, soaking this up. Shot News. Can you I ain't say leave. You know what I'm saying? What is your response to some of what he was saying?
I just think hopefully he comes back in, man. I just think, like so many of the other Spence fans and supporters, man, he's an emotional wreck right now because he listened to what EJ said about Terrence being a nobody, fighting nobody, doing all these things with no. You heard what he said. His resume. Who has he beat? Earl Spence. Easy, real easy work, Spence. But see, you guys were so caught up on, oh, he fought nobody. EJ's the biggest. EJ's the big dog, and all of this. Meanwhile, he beat Spence the easiest. To me, Sean Porter put up more of a fight for the PBC flagship than Earl Spence did. But nobody talks about that because, Terrence Crawford never fought nobody. The guy that he mentioned before, Mean Machine, put up a harder fight than Earl Spence. But these are guys that you said were nobodies. But yet the somebody turned out to be the easiest of them all. But hey, what do I know? What do I know? What's
Hey, the
wild?
truth matters. I didn't kick you out of anything. You just left when I said I was gonna give somebody time to respond or whatever. So, yeah, you made a good point, man. Like,
But I want to, I
whatever
want to,
he.
I want to, I want to
Go
speak
ahead.
on the fact too that he's bringing up basketball, right?
Yeah,
Basketball and boxing is two different sports. You
yeah,
know, when fighters fight, it's not a best out of seven series. It's a one night thing. They
exactly.
might run it back, have a rematch, but it's not a best out of four series. So using Steph Curry, yeah, Steph might have an off night, just like LeBron. But the good thing about basketball is the next night you could, relive that. And boxing, you have an off night, it is what it is, the bright lights. But hey, what do I know, man?
Hey, speaking of an off night, there, Shaw News. When they make these basketball or boxing comparisons, I'm talking about a one-on-one sport versus a team sport. Last time I checked, basketball don't have championship games during the regular season. You know what I'm saying? Like boxing. Boxing has championships throughout the annual calendar. So therefore, when boxing has a championship fight and the champion loses, the title changes hands. You know what I'm saying? And just like you just mentioned, in basketball, they have best out of seven.
Best out of seven.
They don't have that in boxing.
No,
You know what I'm
it's not.
saying? They're not carrying championship titles around during the regular season. Their third game, they're not having a championship basketball game and switching it over and say, hey, if y'all let them beat, they're going to become the champions now. I mean, that's not the way it works, man.
Not of boxing. Not of boxing. But I feel that brother's pain, man, as an Earl Spence fan and supporter. It was hard, man. It was hard to see your guy go out like that, man. Especially when, Crawford never fought nobody. And, he was too small and he was gonna get whooped like a horse. And, it's just hard, man. I understand, man.
Yeah, man. What's good? What's good, man?
Get on here, but I got you can hear
Hey,
me?
Yeah, we
yeah,
can hear you.
there's some beeping going on in the background or something like that.
Yeah. You can hear me? It's gone?
Yeah, you good. You good. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to know why these Spence fans why he was sitting up there saying Spence should have changed up. Like Spence kept coming forward. Crawford never changed at all. That was the first fight that Crawford Crawford stayed the same way the whole fight. He didn't go from southpaw to orthodox. He stayed the same way. So Spence couldn't stop that. What make you think he could stop when Bud go to switching up? He never even seen all that Bud could do. He
You
got
make a
beat
solid
by
point.
Bud doing, huh?
Yeah, you make a solid point because they say that him switch hitting, it don't matter. So he came out southpaw the whole fight.
Yeah, I could see if Spence got to see all Bud tricks.
Yeah.
Bud beat him with just one of his tricks.
Mm-hmm.
So how can you practice against that when you only got to see one of his tricks? Bud is the most complete fighter, and they talking about going up to 154. But the more you put on weight, like me fighting, once I actually put on weight, my power got harder. My power, my hitting power went up too. Like I hurt people more. Spence don't have that much power, but have natural power. So when he go up, you think his power ain't going go up
Transfer.
by 100?
Yeah. Let me get
like,
Jessica in here right quick, bro. Let me get Jessica in here right quick.
Okay.
Jessica, what's good?
So WCF.
What's good, Jessica? How you feeling?
Man, y'all done got me on this goddamn panel.
Hey, you done got hey, who polluted you, man? You say you just don't like the sucker.
I'm sick of it, man. Okay. First of all, I want to say I'm so glad that all these Spence fans is on the payroll of the PBC, because now they can start
Yeah.
paying their debts.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems like now everybody talking about the money part, but when it comes to Bud and Boots, it need to be the best fighting the best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if Bud beat Spence Bud, and who's the best? Obviously
Yeah.
Bud, right? So why is
Yeah.
Bud not getting a winner? I get the whole PBC thing, keep it in house, whatever. But I'm talking about the fans. Like, come on, man. Jump crazy out here. And I had a question.
Yeah.
I don't really know much about the sanctioning bodies or whatever, so I wanted to see if, okay, you see how Bud petitioned the WBO, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
is it possible for him to petition that WBC belt too? So, Fundora have to drop both of them belts? Is
Y'all
that
can answer
possible?
that if you want. Y'all can answer that if you want.
Well,
Do
what's the name
Bud
has a
still?
situation. He got a situation with Sergey Buyachich with the WBC, but you know how Mauricio Sulaiman moves. Mauricio Sulaiman might, play ball, so to say. But Sergey Buyachich was supposed to be the one fighting Sebastian Fondora next for the WBC.
Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Every belt got his own rules, and the WBO is the only belt that'll let you go up. Like if you got the belt, if you the super champion, if you got the belt at the lower class, it'll let you go up and skip everybody. Like the WBO, the only belt that'll let you do that. So I don't think he can swing his power by. I don't think he could throw his power around. And another thing that be blowing me about how this all working out. When Crawford get that WBO WBO belt, that means the Spence fans ain't gonna care about. They gonna stop caring about unification, because you have to get that WBO belt. You have to be that. So I mean the Spence fans gonna turn against. You ain't gotta dang, mind blanking what it is. You ain't gotta have all the belts. Like how the big fish, like this just don't make no sense. And just like the Spence fans, like they the ones always saying when it comes to Terrence Crawford and Boots, I ain't saying I don't like Terrence Crawford. I'm saying that the best gotta fight the best. It shouldn't be about money. It shouldn't be about money. The best should fight the best. That's all I'm saying. But then when it comes to this, they don't care about the best fighting the best. Let Spence go up and do that. No, but Spence ain't the best. So out of the two, he ain't the best. So if you want to see the best fight the best, you're going backwards. Cause Spence got his ass. Huh? I
say you're right. Drop that grease, man. You're right. They always talking about the best fighting the best, unless it's Crawford.
This is what I've been hearing on the Spence channels all this time. And I already know Boots don't have no fans. Boots fans are Spence fans. And that's why I always sit there and say, if Boots and Spence ever fight each other, Boots ain't gonna have no fans, because Boots fans came out of nowhere, and it's only because there are Spence fans. Boots fans are Spence fans, and they don't care about Boots or Spence. They just hate Crawford. They hate Crawford with a passion. I do not know why. I do not understand it.
Yeah, they wanted somebody to beat Crawford. That's all. They felt like Boots was the next best choice. After they see what happened July 29th. That's all.
And so let me ask y'all this though. Since Jessica is first time on the panel, I want to ask you this. Based off what you seen last night, I already asked Shaw News earlier. Based off the fight that you seen last night with Tszyu and Sebastian Fondor, do you believe that Spence has a decent chance of beating Fondor if he gets that fight?
I think Honestly, I think Spence again because I feel like Fondora he still need to work out. He need to work on more of his craft. Maybe if Spence would have got him in a couple of years, I'd say differently. But well, I'm assuming that Spence gonna be Spence, though. You know, the non July 29th Spence. So that's what I'm basing it off of. But we don't really know because we really don't we really don't know if he's like really there. But based on the previous Spence, I think so.
Okay. Brim came on deck. What's good with it, Brim?
Hey man, just seeing this landscape of nonsense, trash, and hypocrisy at its finest. But how are you doing this wonderful afternoon? I just got to watching that good British scrap that just happened.
I'm good. We feeling good over here. You know what I'm saying? Just having a panel talking about miscellaneous topics, based off last night. And, pretty much what you already know is going on with, the aerosexuals reviving themselves from being hot and barreled in. You know what I'm saying, Brim? Being barreled in the sewer systems. In the sewer systems there, Brim. They have made it back to the surface.
It's interesting that today is the day of resurrection, and right now Errol Spence is coming from the grave and rising back up to be able to have an opportunity to skip the line to fight someone for a championship after getting sparked out for 9 rounds completely. The thing is, my issue with all this is this. If Terrence Crawford was in this position, I wouldn't approve of it if he was in this position. But all the people who are clamoring and all happy, joy, clapping their hands and stomping their feet for Errol Spence, if this was Terrence Crawford, they'd be up in arms, losing their shit. So this is the point of hypocrisy at its finest. Listen, people throwing at me, Loma lost, he got a title shot. I didn't agree with it then when it came to Loma. But the difference between the two is, did Loma get a title shot over the person that knocked him out? That's a difference. But people don't want to keep it real. And then people talk about, Bud, bad negotiating, bad faith. These crap behind narratives. When Steven Espinosa gets on an interview and said, Bud gave everything Spence wanted for the rematch, but we couldn't hold him any further because Spence was on some bull. Basically, Spence was on bull crap. And we want to talk about he's the truth, right? But you wait 7 months to have eye surgery, which effectively heals the rematch. And I think they did that on purpose for a reason, to be able to do what they're doing right now. But y'all want to say that's the truth. So we got a guy that, one, let PBC, where Floyd Mayweather clearly said they didn't want to fight in the first place. So he finally stood up and grew some nuts to make the fight after they did lowball Bud and screwed him over, right? So then he gets in the fight, gets whooped, makes no excuses. So I give him a respect for that initially. But then he comes out with this cataract surgery, making excuses after he said, I'm from the old law. I don't make no excuses. And if I had any, I wouldn't tell you anyway. Well, he told us afterwards. So this is all fraud behavior. And we want to, people want to champion this shit. He's a fraud. Errol Spence is a fraud. Clearly. Absolute fraud.
Who want to respond to that?
I will. You won't get an argument from me on that. But hey, what do I know? Fraud alert.
And that's another thing. All those Spence channels keep, even after he came out and said that Terrence Crawford agreed to do the rematch, even if it wasn't in the contract, even if they switch up the contract, he agreed to do it. That he was a hellified businessman and a gentleman. They talk nothing about that. They still saying Terrence Crawford is a bad businessman. No, y'all let that man go. Y'all let him go. Y'all didn't give him an offer. Y'all just kept that man just sitting there. Spence, I really wasn't messed up. Now that's one thing I'm noticing about PBC. But somehow their fighters always end up getting hurt. Like right before a fight that they don't want.
Mm-hmm. Allegedly, that's a good point. Allegedly, because we had we had 2 Charlos and a Spence that was out with injuries.
Yeah, man,
Man,
that's
the truth always
want to
come
say
out, and
I want to say this
the
too.
truth coming out.
Um,
It's coming out now. You can't. I mean,
mm,
you can fake it for as long as you can, but your true colors really come out, and it came out once he took that loss. He took
Yep.
that loss. You
and,
saw the real Errol
and
Spence. Because what kind of champ would just shut down from all his fans, leaving them everybody question like what happened, this, that, and the third. You disappeared, and then you reappear. Don't do one interview. I haven't seen not one interview with Spence at that fight. That's the
none.
main thing I was waiting on.
Mm-hmm.
When
and
for the
I
rematch,
want to
that's the
say this.
only thing I was worried about. I wasn't worried about the rematch because I knew it was gonna be the same. But that's the only thing I wanted to see was them pressers, because I wanted to see what was the excuses, or what happened, or what was his mind frame. When you disappeared and you come back out, pop back up, as if you just erased July 29th out your head. Which I thank Bud, because my birthday July 30th, and that was the best birthday gift ever.
Shout out to you on the
Shout
July
out Bud.
28th. Shout out to you.
Yeah, go ahead, Shaw News. A
Yeah,
great point that just.
I want to say this with touching on what Jason said, right? And this is for all of the the YTC advisors and people on the teams. Bud Crawford was such a bad businessman that not only did his business practices and negotiating tactics secure the highest guarantee to date for the big dog, the biggest, and himself. So for somebody that didn't know what he was doing, negotiating bad faith and all these other, derogatory statements that were put out there on the YTC, but Crawford's tactics secured the biggest guaranteed purses for him and Earl Spence. But hey, what do I know?
Yeah, I think it's one of those common terms they love using from back in the day. When before Crawford stepped in there with Spence, it was one of those deals where he ain't sold out anything. You know what I'm saying? He's not a popular guy because Bud didn't want to talk to the media back in the day. We got it. Okay, we got it. But they have to move forward to where we at right now. Cause you look, they still trying to act like last year didn't happen. Yes, last year happened, man. It's over and done with. You can't sit up here and act like it didn't happen, and you still want to act like Spence undefeated. He's 28-1, and the reason being is that Crawford handed him his first loss. Crawford should be the one stepping in there and fighting Fundora, and Spence need to fight not a common opponent, just another opponent at 154. That's it.
For real, man. Like they brought up earlier. Had this been the shoe on the other foot, the saying, would we be having this conversation? Would Bud Crawford even be in the picture if he attempted to do something like that? Had he lost July 29th, right, and miraculously got injured and said, "Yo, my eye," all of these things, right?
You got
And then the
mad. You got
rematch.
mad sound in there, Jason. Like you got mad air coming through there.
Yeah, but had Crawford, right? Had Crawford, you know, the shoe been on the other foot and he lost, right? Would we be having these conversations? Would Terrence Crawford have been able to just, disappear for 6 months, then randomly jump on Twitter and say, all these random tweets, then pop up at an Omaha emergency center getting an eye patch, and then a couple months later, jumping out at the T-Mobile site of the crime scene, jumping in the ring, demanding to fight the winner after getting his ass whooped? Will we be on here discussing this? We'll be telling Crawford to get lost, right? Real
Get
talk.
lost
We'll be
like it's
telling him to
cool.
get lost. So why is this bozo, part of my language, why are we even having this conversation? And trust me, EJ, I will tell you this to your face, brother. You're on bozo time. You're not standing on business. You are on bozo time. And you know me, brother. I will tell you this to your face. Like your ultimate bozo right now.
Void to be true after all, because an audio just leaked of Meek screaming for his life when Diddy mercilessly clapped his cheeks. One thing about the internet, they ain't never
Somebody got a
forget
TV
and
on.
always come through with receipts, honey. Now, if y'all remember, Meek was
Y'all there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What's good, Pop? I see you on deck, man. You know, what you have to say to what you heard already.
They just want him to be first. I don't have him.
He been first. He was the popular guy. He been first.
They still want him to be first. Like, no, I don't know. Like, I've heard all the bullshit. I was over there. I heard it. I don't know. They just want him to be first. I don't know. They want him to get the fight first. I've heard, who's going to be, Bud is a lot more difficult to deal with. It's going to be easier to make the fight when it's Earl. But, even though that's an in-house fight, I thought we was tired of in-house fights, especially from PBC, but it's okay when it's Earl. But, it is what it is.
Hey, real quick, WCS, can you put that comment back up from G Black right before you change it? There we go. Okay. If PBC would have did the right thing and made Bud versus Mel after the Spence fights, guarantee it would have done better numbers than the Spence fight. Here's the problem with that. Mel didn't have that much value to begin with. You got to remember, this man fought undisputed at 154 in front of, 6,000, 7,000 people, right? He's a quality fighter. He's a good fighter. I don't think he's great. He's good because he doesn't make adjustments in the fight. He makes adjustments from fight to fight. But once he fought Canelo, right, that's on the biggest of stages. That man went from lions only to gazelles only. He didn't fight to win. He fought to survive. So everybody, including myself, looked at him like, you a chump, bro. So his value took a substantial hit. That's why Bud said, I don't want to fight him, because everybody looked at Mel like, you a sucker, bro. You talk about all these years of how you could beat Canelo, you could do this. And instead of going out there and at least giving a Spence effort in the ring while you're getting your ass kicked and still continue to try to fight, you fought to survive and get a check. After you got a taste of it, after you got clipped, you fought to survive. You didn't fight to actually try to win, which took away some of the value that he had, and he didn't have that much in the first place. Bud is a victim of his own success. This man has lost $25 to $30 million on a rematch with a guy who gets an eye surgery 7 months later and then hops in the ring to try to get a fight in front of somebody after getting sparked out. But we want to say Bud is asking for too much money because he wants to get paid for a fight after making $25 million and losing out on it on additional money because of how good he performed. How do you guys sound? You guys sound like a bunch of clowns. And the problem is they hate Terrence Crawford. And what makes it so sad is they are cheering Errol Spence, a guy who has not given his all to the sport, who has not always been dedicated to the craft and lived the lifestyle, while hating a guy who has did nothing but give to the sport the right way, step into every fight the right way, live the lifestyle outside of the outside of the ring, the way you would want your fighter to do. But instead of giving that man his flowers, they made excuses for Errol Spence. They hate on Terrence Crawford. They find every narrative that is negative against Terrence Crawford and run with it. And that is the shameful part. It's almost at the point right now where Terrence Crawford, you find you a decent opponent, fight him in the Omaha for that 154 title and ride out in the sunset. And it's shame that we've gotten to this point because we disrespect the fighters who actually are dedicated to the craft. Boxing is not a sport. It's a business. So when we speak about boxing, just say the business of boxing. Don't say the sport of boxing, because I always say the spirit of competition is gone out the window.
Who's actually a champion?
Great point, man. Great point.
Who's actually a champion 150?
Who's what now?
Is
Who's
Fondor
what?
the only champ?
No. Well, they unified two titles, so the WBC and the WBO is taken now. That's Fundora. So we're waiting for the WBA and the IBF.
Hold up, no, the WBA's already been decided.
Who's the WBA champion?
Hold up 1 second. Didn't they fight on the Knockout Chaos card? Hold up.
They might have. I'm not sure. But
Hold up. I'm going to tell you right now. Bear with me. I forgot his name because I remember seeing the fight, but I just had forgot his name. I think it starts with an M.
I'm about to look it up too.
They vacant, bro. They breaking. I'm pretty sure that they vacant, man. The WBA and IBF is vacant.
For the belt.
When? Last night or if it wasn't last night?
It was on the Knockout Chaos card. Hold up.
Okay, if it's this past weekend, then last night maybe you're right.
No, the Knockout Chaos was the you know what we and you've been going at it about the Joshua Ngannou card.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't think so, man. You know, I still see the vacancy. You know, the WBA and the IBF vacant.
I'm checking right now. You know, you might be right, but I could have swore they fought for the belt though.
That's crazy.
You might be right. I don't know.
It was an interesting weekend. The one thing I'll give PBC credit for, and the thing is, I give praise with the same energy as the shade that I may give. The way they moved the card along in a time frame was phenomenal. They did a great job with that. We were at the main event at 11 o'clock.
Bro, that was an accidental great card. That was an accidental great card. It was accidentally great.
Yeah, Kurbanov. Madrimov won that fight. Madrimov is the WBA World Super Welterweight. Yeah, they fought for the vacant.
Yep.
But they haven't posted in some of the things. Yeah, so the IBF is the one that's vacant, the WBA. So you have Madrimov, who's the champion, and Fondor is the champion.
And the IBF is about to be fought for on the undisputed heavyweight championship fight with Poké, I think.
Yeah, June 1st.
Yeah.
June 1st, that one goes.
Is it June 1st? I thought it was on the undisputed heavyweight card.
So that's the May 20th card.
Yeah.
Okay. May 20th. Damn. So the super welterweight division is tied up now.
Yeah, but the problem is when, unfortunately, you know, and this is and every promotional company is guilty of this. It's not just PBC, but now that they got the belts, they're gonna play keep away, bro. They're gonna play keep away to some degree. And don't expect to see Jamel at 154 ever again. Do not expect it. 5 years ago, Spence, Mel, and Maul all talked about going up at the same time, and it's happening as we speak. So the next time you see Mel, expect to see him at 160 when he's done spending his Canelo money.
I mean, he's still the champion, WBC champion in recess at 154.
He'll let it go when he go to 160. They just playing the game until it's appropriate time. You know how this works, WCS. You super seasoned. You know how this game go.
Yeah, I'm just not trying to hear the the keep the belts hostage type shit, because we seen that already. You know, they allow him to pick up 3 belts at 47 only to lose them and then get pissed off about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's boxing. So Fondor signed to who again? And he has how many belts?
He got 2.
So you trying to say they're gonna be hostage? That's stupid. You know what I'm saying? Because the 154 is kind of hot right now, man.
It's a lot of good fighters in there, man.
Bruce Willis, Jamal Charlo been having the WBC middleweight title hostage for about 3 years, man.
Yeah, for real. And yeah, man. You ain't lying.
Adamas done super greasy.
Yeah, for sure. You know, and Mauricio Suleiman said they was gonna look out for Jamal, and we don't know what's going on with him. What's going on with Jamal? What is he doing? His last fight was at 166. And then they talk about they're going to protect him from being stripped of the WBC. Are you going down to 160 or not? What's going on, MAG on deck? What's good with it?
What's up, WCS? That's Mr. Golden.
Yeah, what's going on, Mr. Golden? I thought that was you, man. What's good, OG?
Yeah. Golden. Not much, man. Not much, man. Happy Easter to everybody. How y'all gentlemen doing today?
God bless my brother.
Hey, we good, man. You know what I'm saying? We
good.
Man.
I just come in here, I was trying to fill out, why WCS allowed that bullshit to happen last night. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, shit. I know he had something to do with it, bro.
About which part? Which part? Spence getting in the ring? I couldn't stop that.
Yeah, you had something to do with that, man. You pushed Spence up to do that.
I couldn't stop that.
Man, you know what, man? And you should have heard the Earl Sexers last night. Oh, they was eating us up last night, man. I mean, when I said they were eating it up, how can you support some BS? You feel what I'm saying? If this prime example, if Bull would have did that, man, them niggas would have had a party. You know, I mean, they need to cut it off.
I mean, what part of it did you think that they was eating up? You know, what? Be more specific. Like what was they co-signing the hardest?
They was all Earl. They were all up. WCS. I mean, that nigga had baby oil, hair grease, kitchen grease. They were so excited. Earl got in. They saw Earl in the arena. Earl got in the ring. Boy, them niggas had them put on some thongs and running around there all up. Put the kids to bed, like you said last night. They put the kids to bed. They had a party last night.
I know Earl look, you know, serious. He looked a different type of happy, you know.
Well, he looked like he was more happy. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, I thought it went out. It like a different kind of happy. Cause Bud, he don't got out frustration off and Bud beat the shit out of you. You know, he's a what ass cutting over with. You feel what I'm saying? And he looked like he down about 200 pounds.
Bud said he looked like a linebacker, but the Spence fans are giddy because they thinking Spence being able to cut the line. He get sparked that he still cut the line on Bud. He look, he. That is so corny and so weak, and it's the definition of hypocrisy. Because again, you said it, Golden. If this was Bud, they would be up in arms. And see the difference between me and some of these goofies. If this was Bud, I wouldn't agree with this. If this was Terrence Crawford, I didn't agree with it when Logan was getting the opportunity. I didn't agree that Fondor was getting the opportunity, even though I didn't have a hardcore pressing because he was a replacement. But to actively move and do things with purpose, to put Errol Spence in the position to get a fight over the person, to beat him from pillar to post is crazy. And I got people arguing with me on Twitter. Well, they still lost. It's a difference. How you lose doesn't matter, regardless of what these goofies say. If you lose in a split decision, like, I give Devin all the respect in the world. I'm not a gigantic Devin Haney fan. I thought he lost to Loma, but I don't hold that against him because he went out there and he performed admirably. I was admired how his effort was. He didn't fight the same way. He gave a tremendous effort. So regardless if I thought he won or lost, I thought he did well in that ring. But to compare that to somebody getting sparked out, beat from pillar to post for 9 rounds and knocked out, and to use that as a deflecting point to excuse Errol Spence getting this opportunity is crazy. And there's people that's actually encouraging this because they just want to see Errol Spence get knocked out again. And I hope Errol Spence gets knocked out. I hope because I used to be an Errol Spence fan, bro. I used to like Errol Spence. I didn't have a dog in the fight with Errol Spence and Bud. At one point, I did not have a dog in the fight. I didn't care who won at one point because I thought they were just both excellent fighters. But time has changed a lot of that because I see the fraud in Errol Spence. You cannot sit here and tell me today that Errol Spence is the truth and he moves like the truth. This is not truthful things you do. You don't wait 7 months for a surgery. And then people still blaming Bud for the rematch not happening, even though Steven Espinosa has clearly stated and put it out there that Bud was acquiesced for all the things that Spence had wanted in the rematch. When people gonna get real and stop living in a delusional bubble and actually look at it for what it is instead of just looking for a narrative to ride what you feel? The difference is if I'm wrong about something, I'm gonna take it as such, and then I'm going to understand it, and my position can change because I'm open-minded because I know I don't know all the answers. But I don't have a dog in the fight like these cats do either.
But also, Steve, you have to look at, you know. Like I was saying last night or some stuff, when Bud was at 140, Bud got all the love in the world. But once he moved to 147, he became a threat to the WBC and all the bullshit. You know, I mean, not WBC,
PBC, I know what you meant, brother.
PBC, and that's where all the hatred started coming. You know,
but look,
y'all
hey,
cannot,
OG, he
they
still got
cannot
love
take
though.
that. Yeah, he still got love. Yes.
Yeah, he still
You know,
got love, but WCS and golden though. Hold up, Terrence Crawford when he was at 135 and 140. When they used this to think he re-signed with Todd Bragg, which was an extension. Did he have a problem? Did he have problems being able to fight a PBC fighter at those times? Didn't he? If I'm not mistaken, didn't he fight 3 PBC fighters?
Yes, at 135, 140, they ain't had no problem doing a cross promotion with Bud with top rank. They didn't have
So
no
it's revisionist history. Everybody saying he had to come over here, but at that time when he extended, did we know that PBC was going to freeze him out at that time, considering that he was able to get fights with PBC fighters? But people want to be so disingenuous about this. Again, I have been wrong about certain things. I actually defended Errol Spence and saying he might have not have dug Terrence Crawford, but time has proven that to be false. And this fight wouldn't have happened if Errol Spence didn't let his nuts drop, because Floyd Mayweather clearly stated, we didn't want the fight. Them offering them no guarantee is all you need to know. And the actions they're doing now. But people are going to continue to ignore these obvious truths because they want to spin narratives and they want to feel good about this goofy shit, bro. It's goofy shit.
Answer a question for me. Name me a fighter that Errol fought that's outside of the PBC. How many he fought outside of PBC? Can anybody answer that?
I'm looking through my telescope right now to try to find it. Hold up. When you look at the telescope, it looked like a 0 there. Still, I'm looking like I'm still seeing 0.
I think it's Kell Brook, right? Kell Brook's the only one.
Oh yeah, Kell Brook. Yeah.
Kell Brook, the only one.
Hold on. Did Mikey sign with PBC to fight Earl? Or was he just a free agent?
No, he didn't sign with PBC to fight Earl.
I think Mikey was coming off that hiatus, being out the ring with that legal battle with Top Rank. I believe. And he came back to be able to get a fight like that with Errol Spence without being tied into Bob Arum.
Right.
And without being tied into PBC either, because after that, Matchroom gave him a whole bunch of money to fight Vargas, right?
He went over to Matchroom.
Yeah, Jesse Vargas.
Yep. He got $8 million to fight Jesse Vargas.
Between 6 to 8 million, yeah.
Nobody was screaming that Mikey Garcia had to sign with PBC to fight Errol Spence.
That's it. Like I said, even if Bud would have signed with PBC, they would have did Bud like they did all the rest of the boys. They'd have froze Bud out still. Bud still wouldn't have got the top fights. He wouldn't have got the top.
Spence didn't even fight. So, I mean, we have plenty of examples of guys on the same side of the street at PBC not fighting each other. So there's no guarantee he was going to get that.
Also, you have to look at the quality of opposition too. When Bud started 147, yeah, PBC already had their fighter, but yet Bud was still over there with Top Rank, and we all know it's been on record that Bob Arum, has called Al Heyman at one point in time a cancer and everything else. So, when it comes down to business, well, in order for Spence to unify the division, you have to knock on Al Heyman's door and say, I'm trying to unify for Undisputed. Crawford got the WBO. What are we going to do about it? So, Kell Brook wasn't able to take the title. Sean Porter was the last line of defense. He wasn't able to get the title. So either they don't make the fight or they make the fight.
But WCS, we wouldn't have got the fight, though.
That's when Showtime had to step in and finance the motherfucker for it to happen.
But see, you got to look at if Bud had moved up to 147, right? They ain't had no problem across the street to fight Jeff Horn for that title. They wouldn't have had no problem cross promotion with Bob Arum to get that title from Jeff Horn.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Spence even said that Jeff Horn was food, So he would have definitely wanted to go over there if Crawford wasn't moving up to fight Jeff Horn. That would have been easy for Spence to pick up that WBO early and then gone about his business, with the WBC and the WBA.
Mm-hmm. See, the thing about it, man, they're full of crap. And I'm looking for the WBC to do some flaky shit too with the Fundora fight. If Fundora fight Bud, choose Bud, I think WBC gonna try some flaky shit with that. Seriously.
I don't know, man, because WBC, Mauricio Suleiman is based out of Mexico. Ain't it, Shot News? He based out of Mexico, ain't he? So,
that's it.
He love his Mexican fighters now.
Yeah. Okay, but who that? Which one I'm gonna add him apart in his fight? The WBA or the WBC?
You went out.
WBC, right?
He asked. He said, "Which sanction having in his pocket?"
Scotty, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, man.
Yeah, we hear you.
A lot of people think it's the WBA.
Yeah. What sanction of body? At the WBA? Okay.
A lot of people think it's the WBA.
They be on that bullshit.
I mean, what about the IBF too? I mean, we just seen the shit that happened with Boots, and also Spence was able to go over there and get the IBF. I don't know if they have them in their pocket or not. I don't get too much involved in that shit.
Yeah, but you gotta look at how long Spence had an IBF belt.
3 years. Combat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I remember a while ago, right? That'd be maybe 4 or 5 months ago when you said Bud should go to 160.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know 160. But now I look at 160. He was absolutely right. So I was wrong. He was absolutely right. Yeah. 160 is wide fuck over.
I mean, why not for him to go there? There ain't nothing going on at 160.
After watching Laura last night, like I think Bud can knock somebody out at 160 the way Laura just set that boy up for 1-2, go to bed.
Yeah. In the second round, I'm like, come on now.
Man.
That was a PBC special.
Come on,
You know what I mean, man?
Laura, 40 years old, dog.
I had the extra cheese on the side, man. The second round.
40 years old, dog. Knocking people out in the second round.
Yeah, he is 52 years old with his Cuban ID, man.
Yeah, he is, right? He is, right? He's 52 years old, man.
Hey, they still got them, and man, he walked right through him.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Man, he looked like vintage Laura on that, man. Second round clean up like that.
I seen it too, though. I seen it too, though. I was like, he hit him with it before. I was like, he dove in on it. I said, bro, don't do that again. Laura gonna time that shit. And I turned my head, and when I looked back, the fight was over. I said, dang.
It's over. Cleaned them up quick. It made me do a flashback. I said, damn, he like 40-something years old? Like,
he jumped into that punch, and Laura, he set a trap.
I got another question, y'all.
They might be setting up him and Danny Garcia, because remember that was in talks before the money.
Danny mentioned that on the telecast last night that he was supposed to fight Laura, but it didn't work out. So I don't know if it's still on the freaking schedule or not.
It could be now, but
I know I'm late, fella, but I gotta ask another question. Y'all don't mind? Man, why y'all let my man do my boy like that, man? Why y'all let Pitbull do the special ed kid like that last night?
Hey, he showed heart though, man. He showed that retard strength for a little bit.
He did.
They did him dirty, man. They did him dirty, man.
I think
that's boxing. Clinching in boxing is boxing, man. They took the point away from him, like, yo, you're holding.
He was holding him bad, bro.
He was holding.
He was holding him bad.
Yeah. Shit. So was Caleb playing against Benavidez, right?
Yeah, true.
That was cool. It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it.
Yeah, that's true.
But listen, one thing I can say, He beat my boy up, but he ain't hit the ground. He's still up.
Yeah, nah, that's that retarded
Hey,
shit.
look, man.
He was
I
not
felt
going
so
down.
bad for. Hey,
That's
listen,
that.
bro. When he hit him in the middle of the ring and he held on, the guys I was watching with, they was just like, it was like, what happened? I said, he just clipped Rolly. They was like, what you talking about? Rolly let go of that one. I said, yeah, you ain't see that, did you? He just clipped Rolly. Boy, Rolly walked right into that punch. Oh,
But see,
shit, ugly.
Pitbull didn't have no head movement, though. He just come in and swing a wow, throwing looping shot and catching Rolly. But long as Rolly stayed on the outside, well, this was Rolly last night. Then he pulling with a jab, but holding that. If you keep pumping that jab, you got him. But he was just pulling with the jab and trying to set him up for a shot. I heard that little no Nate Rascal.
See, you can look, OG. Hey, you look at it like this. If Rolly would have took that jab serious and threw it with a little bit more conviction instead of just tapping it, them touch jabs. But he just kept throwing his right hand. So really, both him and Isak Cruz was doing the same thing, except Rolly was trying to throw a right cross, and Isak was coming over the top with an overhand right most of the time. They was doing the same thing. Rolly was throwing his right hand, Isak was throwing overhand right. It's just Isak, man, he had great defense.
Yo, oh, hold on.
What y'all thought about the after post fight interview?
Go ahead, Shy. I knew we. How you going?
What y'all thought about that? I want to hear your thoughts on that, man.
You don't ask football players how they feel after they get knocked out in the fucking game, dude.
Listen, hey, Shy. Look, man. That lady asked Rolly a question. Rolly was still drunk.
Happy Easter, everybody. Happy Easter, everybody.
That was crazy.
Hey, look at it. She asked Rolly a question. Rolly was spaced out. Listen, okay, I guess we need to go take the break for the lady. But I said, what did my boy dirty tonight, boy?
Come on, man. You can't do Rolly like that right now. Rolly, eyes big, glazed over. Can't breathe. Man, come on. He about to ask you what you're doing in his bedroom. I got a fight coming up. Get out my room.
I was trying to get a reaction quote from Bullet, man. I had Bullet up like, man. I was trying to get a reaction.
Yeah, that's what we need. That's what we need. But he'll be professional about it. You know what I'm saying? He'll be professional because he probably felt bad for Rolly, looking the way he did, throwing just his right hand like. Okay, let's go back to what Shakur Stevenson did. It's not that easy, huh? Because Shakur made that shit look easy fighting on the outside. Rolly, not so much. Like he was confused a little bit, Well, he's confused a lot, but
I don't think they're gonna put Tank in the ring with Pitbull anytime soon.
Why not, man? He fought the same way he did against Tank the first time.
But he look a little bit more stronger this time here. He look
Justice for Sugar Barroso.
You talking about he looking stronger against a weaker fighter? Come on, let's not give Rolly any more credit, bro. Like we know he couldn't box.
For real,
this dude was getting beat up by Barroso. Barroso was like 67 and a half years old, man.
Hold up.
Night, dog.
No Barroso slander. Barroso knocked out O'Hara Davis in the first round. Barroso was a true champion.
Yeah,
I am Team Sugar Barroso. It's a travesty he don't got the belts. Give him his opportunity. And WCS, do not shade the great champion Sugar Barroso because he is the actual champion in my book.
I like Barroso. He should get his shot, man. He should get his shot.
Yeah.
They
but the thing is, though, he took the step aside money for this fight to happen, though.
Yeah, for sure. But that's the problem. When you take step aside money, you might end up like Stantionis, staying on the shelf a little bit longer.
You don't get to the front of the line quick after that.
And plus, he's not marketable. Isak Cruz is more marketable. Barroso, no, not so much, man.
And you see the fans. Isak Cruz brought the people out too. They was in there for him.
They was in there for last night.
They like Isak Cruz, man.
That crowd wasn't as packed as y'all think it was, though. My man go to every fight. He showed me the crowd. It was only like 2/3 full.
But listen, somebody asked me last night. Somebody asked me how would Devin feel against Pitbull.
Who?
Devin.
Devin is a better mover than Rolly Romero. And
And
I think he
that jab in the face.
yeah, he a better boxer all around. He's not gonna be touch jabbing. He gonna actually use his jab, to do damage for us, effectively. So I think Devin beats Isak Cruz pretty easily myself.
Yeah. And he rehydrates to a super middleweight, so
Yeah, he'll be too damn big and strong. Yeah.
Heavyweight. That ain't gonna hydrate that heavyweight.
I think every other champion at that division beat Isak Cruz. WBC from WBC, IBF, and WBO. I think all of them beat Isak.
Hey, W6, I'm sorry to interrupt, but can I ask Golden a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Golden, you always dog me out, right? You always be busting my chops. I got all the Errol Spence fans coming at my neck on Twitter, bro. You need to come defend my honor, bro, because I'm speaking the truth and bringing the truth to the light and the power to the truth in my IOTBA voice. Come on, bro. Quit playing, bro. All the times you bust my chops, I'm up here spitting truth about this fraud Errol Spence Jr., and you up here letting them come at me talking all this nonsense and these narratives and these lies.
Man, listen, I was put a day and I saw some of your stuff. I give you a pass. I just said, okay, I kept on going. I didn't. I was being nice because when it hit something hit my phone, I shouldn't even look at the phone. I was in church, listening to the kids do the Easter speech today. And I seen your stuff. I was reading. I said, I ain't gonna bother you today. But I started to say Happy Easter Day, Earl Sexual.
Yeah, for real, right?
I can't. Ooh, Golden conspiracy, Golden, bro.
Bro, you saved it. I mean, you should know if you got them coming at you right about now. You know that they ain't dead. They ain't killed themselves because for a few months we was like, "Woo, boy, where'd you go?"
Now I got to go back to Fondor. I was very, very, very impressed with him last night because he fought the way he was supposed to fight last night. Yeah. Stood tall and used his reach to fight his jab. Even though your boy was trying to get up in there, he had that blood on the face. But that jab, he didn't try to go on the inside like he normally do. He stood on the inside and kept on that jab, and he all night long he peppered with 1-2, pop out, and move. 1-2, pop out. He used his height and reach advantage last night.
Yeah, he finally did. He finally learned from his sister Gabby. But I want to ask everybody a question. If that cut did not happen, do you think Fundora would have beat Tim? Yes or no?
He knocks him out if he don't get that cut, bro. That's a lot of blood he lost.
Yeah, but if that would have been me, I'm gonna be honest with you. If that would have been me, if I was in Tim's corner last night, what I would have done after that nasty cut like that, he was sustained in the second round, and the referee said, "I'm gonna give you one more round." And if he couldn't, and the way that blood was coming out, I would have stopped the fight.
But they don't have control. But they could have complained about it. They didn't do him any favors. They could have complained about it for the fight to be stopped. Because I thought they was gonna go no contest after round 4.
No, after round 4, you can't go to no contest.
No, it's up to 4 rounds. After the 4th, if you go out in the 5th round, then it goes to the scorecards. But if you stop it by the 4th round, it can be no contest.
They should have did that in round 3. After he came back after round 3, and the way that man he tried to go out, they should have stopped the fight there and come back and redo the fight over. Because the referee do one more shot. He said, "I'm gonna give you one more round." That's when Tim tried to go out there and knock his head off. He couldn't do it.
All right, I'm gonna pull a Blue Blood Sports TV. Yo, my sources told me that being that this was the first PBC card, they had to let it go through. But hey, what do I know?
Oh boy. Word.
All right, fellas. WCS, I just want to thank you for having me on your panel. I'm going to go back into the chat.
Hey, Jessica, I appreciate you pulling up.
Hold on, y'all. Skip Jessica, you know?
Hold up, G. I gotta just close her out, man. Hey, thanks for showing up. You're always welcome. Thanks for pulling up.
Hey,
salute.
Well, hold on, sister. Don't leave, right? I didn't know you was over there in the corner. Hi, my Georgia queen.
Hey, Mrs. Golden. How you didn't know
How
I was
you
on the
doing?
phone?
I'm sitting there,
Hey, Jessica, you messed up now. You done actually spoke to him.
Yeah, he ain't gonna let you
Look
leave
how
now.
he bless you.
I should
Look,
have said,
hey, he can't even drive no more. He about to pull over on the side of the road, dog.
oh,
listen,
man.
I'm sitting in my truck and I'm on my phone, so that everything is real small. So I didn't see the thing. Now I see the look at my Georgia Queen. Oh, look at that. You know, man, my Easter
Yeah,
Sunday.
he done tricked me. He got me up on the panel. He tricked me.
Hold on. It's about time. Cause me and you had this discussion, right?
Man, you know I'm a chatter. I like to be in the
But
chat.
that's okay, baby. Because every now and then, let the fellas hear your voice, my queen. You're very knowledgeable. I like that. You know,
All
every
right.
time I go somewhere, every time I go somewhere, you be following me and
Yeah,
everything else. And
yeah.
I like
We be
me and you be up
outside.
all time of night. We be outside all time of night. Boy, look
Hey,
at here.
hey, don't discourage her from
I
coming
pull
back.
an Air Spence
No,
and come back.
no, I want her to come. I want her to come back, man. Please come back. Cause there she is.
Yeah,
I was talking to her about that. Come on, be on the show, man. But I like the chat. Nah, come on there and let the brothers hear from you, man. Let the fellas hear from you.
I'll be
You know, I
back.
appreciate
I'm
that.
gonna pull an Air Spence car. I'll be back.
All right, for sure, for sure.
Oh
Enjoy your
All right.
weekend.
All
Lord,
right. I'll be in the
uh,
chat.
No
yeah,
doubt.
go on and hang out. Yeah, man, but man, look at him. But fun dude, like I said,
Look at him wiping his head. Look at him wiping his face off and shit, dog.
I started sweating just then.
Ain't it still winter? It's still winter out there. Ain't shit, you know.
Win. Man,
But let's get back to boxing, man. God
hold
damn it.
on, double CS. It's 80s. It's over 80, about 85, 86 degrees down here in Savannah, man.
Okay. I know it was pretty warm today. You know, it's pretty warm
Yeah.
today, whatever.
It only
But
look like it's warm in New York, but
I see how people some of these content creators putting out that for show that Errol Spence and Fondora is happening next. And they're cheering about it. You know what I'm saying? They just cheering about it. But that's a dangerous fight. And EJ
Yeah,
don't
for real.
want to take 2 back-to-back losses, man. That's a tough fight.
If
I
he take
hope
2
he
back,
gets knocked out.
you know, he said something last night. They asked Earl, how would you beat Fondor? I'll break him like I do everybody else. I said, bullshit, you didn't break Bud.
I
You wouldn't
know.
have
Sean News mentioned that earlier during the live. Like, what are you talking about? You will break him. You didn't break Crawford. You got to go break Crawford first. That would be the ideal fight. Fight Crawford. Everybody want to see the rematch. But I know where Bud's at. Bud want to fight for a title. So he's doing it the right way. Unfortunately, Spence should be fighting for somebody else for a title. You know, just get another title, fight somebody else, and then they can have a unification.
fight.
That's the way.
But
That's
see,
the way to zip that up real easy.
not only that, let me tell you something now. If Bud go fight Fundora for them 2 titles, he get them 2 belts. And everybody gonna want the other 2 champions gonna come see Bud to unify.
Yeah.
And it's easy work. And that's easy work for Bud to get undisputed in 140 or 154. You feel what I'm saying? That's
And
easy work.
that's what PBC they understand and they know about that. You know what I'm saying? They know.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
it's like this. Like they knew that both of these fighters was moving up to 154.
right.
They knew that already.
Yeah.
For them to try to be
I
blackballing
think
a so-called
think they
freezing
just
Bud out, that's stupid.
I think they just got to Samson, man. They told Samson, because you heard how he talked last night about the type of money he can make with Jerry Jones and them down there at Jerry's World. And he was sold, man, because Samson's the promoters. You know, the promoters in the business of making the money, man.
Yeah.
Once he figured, you know, they ran the numbers to him and they told him how Jerry, you know, I hate to say this, EJ, you might get mad at me, but your daddy likes to buy the tickets for you. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they say, hey, you might gotta go
But
to
I don't think
Dallas.
Jerry gonna. If he's the guy not gonna do too much right now, he got to see what Earl made of now. Earl's all hyped. I think after that ass cutting, he ain't gonna put too much money behind Earl right now. You got to see what Earl made of. You feel what I'm
I
saying?
mean, he gonna put them back at AT&T, you know, because they so desperate over there in Texas to get they most popular fighter back. Jerry Jones will put money behind him, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean,
You know, like a lot of those
he only got one loss, man.
yeah, but
Yeah.
shit, that loss, but listen, that loss was devastating.
Yeah, it was.
That lost that. That lost that.
Hey, it wasn't devastating enough because they coming back out here acting like qualifications don't matter and popularity does.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's and then the era. I mean, if what Bud should have did, Bud should have moved solidly when he was in a negotiation with Tszyu. When he should have come out and say, "I want Tszyu." That's when it would have came with the fuckery. That's when they made a call with Keith Thurman to take that fight. You feel what I'm saying? That's where they made out here when I made that call.
But yesterday's price ain't today's price, though, Golden. Yesterday's price ain't today's price. But I'm
just saying. You know, sometimes we hurt ourselves or open up our damn mouth. You know, you should have kept that negotiation quietly until things was done. Now they come with the fuckery. You feel me? But you know, Scott, I think that was you last night and said that your boy is blessed. You know, God don't like ugly. You feel what I'm saying? And the thing that they're doing, y'all can't stop greatness. You can only prolong it, but you can't stop greatness. Whatever meant for Bud, he gonna get it. You feel me? And you gotta also look at he can go overseas and make plenty of money.
Yeah.
He got a hell of a fan base overseas. A lot of people told me he don't. He go overseas in England. They love him over there.
Yeah, but he need a belt. He trying to add to that fourth division title. That fourth
right, he gonna get the belt.
Title.
Oh, yeah. He gonna get the WBO. He gonna get that WBO. Yeah.
He gonna fight. He gonna fight for the vacant WBO.
Paco's with him. Paco already put it out there and played.
Man, listen here.
I've been telling Joker, Brian.
One day with Pop loved Bud. Because Bud represent the WBO very well. He's a very outstanding young man. He is not out here being a jackass with their belt, and he represent. Why do you think Pop give you what he want? He been in championship. How many years? He been in championship 135. How many years? He don't have 18 championship fights.
He been a champ for 10 years.
Represent the WBO. Represent the WBO. Come on, man. That's the longest reigning WBO champion that is, isn't it? From 3 divisions. Now he would be the 4th division champion at WBO. Just that Longo put him in the Hall of Fame with the WBO. Shoot.
Yeah, that ain't a problem if he's getting to the Hall or not. You know, it's what he's trying to do as far as being the first again. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's trying to be the first to do, 3 division undisputed. Just, I mean, that just separates him from Canelo Alvarez, in my opinion.
That's separating from Floyd. To me, he already passed Floyd to me. To me, he way past Floyd.
Well, you'll say he passed Floyd because Floyd never had a freaking undisputed, and shit like that. I can see, but when it comes to the money, that's what people kind of factor
money,
in Floyd. And also Floyd has some other accolades as being, the most. He does have his list of accolades. I don't even like talking about Floyd really because.
No, he's a hater.
Yeah, he's a hater. He don't give back to the community. He don't try to tell nobody else about the game or nothing.
And see, that's something that, that's something he should have done. You want a young fella to do this to him, but it's all about you. You can't even promote your own fighter without talking about yourself.
Hey, what you think about, the General Bob, that's turned into, the fighter that's turned into General Bob, the freaking in the gym crash dummy that you punch whenever you come in the gym and, get your sparring off, Kamel Moten. You know what I'm saying? I heard freaking Shaw talking about it, but it's funny he was talking about it because I was looking at the fight. I say, this dude is sitting up here taking punches. Like, what's wrong with this youngin'? He's not going to last that long taking punishment like that, man. That nigga going to be punch drunk by the time he's 23 years old, man.
Especially at 17, man. But you know, you can't tell Leonard anything. Leonard will tell you in a heartbeat, we did this. This is Mayweather Promotions. And you know, we promoted some of the biggest shows and stars out there. So we know what we're doing. You know, we have the formula and the recipe. So well, you keep feeding that young boy out there like that. By the time he's 21, he'll be a little slow. He's too young. He's 17. Let him develop.
Dude ain't using consistent head movement. It's not like he got super fast hands, but he's like brawling. You know, he's just standing there trying to be a Blaxican. You know what I'm saying? Black Mexican style fighter. And he's gonna be punch drunk early, man. Like, what are they trying to do to this kid?
Trying to kill him.
I thought he's supposed to be the next Tank.
Man, come on, next Tank.
Tank could box. Yeah, Tank could box though, man. They act like Tank is just this brute with no skills that just goes out there and tries to run through a wall, man. Tank sets traps. Tank rocks you to sleep. Tank can fight, man.
Tank get his head onto the white meat. Ooh, Lord, I need some help. I need help, y'all. I can't get out the truck.
Hey, I got a question for y'all that just passed through my mind. Yeah, y'all know that since Spence ain't with Derrick James no more, is Spence fans gonna turn against Derrick James? And how could they turn against Derrick James when Spence Flunky is with Derrick James still?
Listen, I'm gonna kill all that right now. To me, I'm thinking they're pulling a Tyson Fury and what a trainer name is Sugar. What the name is? That Tyson get mad at him, he tell me he'll fight him.
They ain't had no problem with money though. This sounds like money.
But listen, that man ain't going nowhere. That thing ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere.
Man, he got a bigger star than Earl Spence, bro. He got a bigger star than Earl Spence.
Huh?
He got a bigger star than Earl Spence and younger.
Yeah, but like I say, who's going to train Earl to fight Fundora?
That's not fucking Derrick James' problem. He paid me my money.
And you did see Derrick James throw shade at Spence by sitting up there saying, man, well, if it was up to me, I'd have him fight Terrence Crawford. You know, if he was still training Spence, he would never say that. If he was still training Spence, he would tell Spence to stay the fuck away from Terrence Crawford. But so by him saying that, you know that means he's not training Spence no more.
What y'all think about that interview Kenny Porter did? Did y'all see that? After the fight?
No, I didn't see it.
Yeah, he did a little interview. He's still mad because Boy beat Sean ass.
Yo.
He's still mad about that, man. You know,
that's why I give Porter props, dog. Porter still give Terrence Crawford his props. He's like everybody else sit there and say, "Oh, Porter head wasn't in it," even though Porter was beating Crawford up until he got knocked out. They say his head wasn't in it. He didn't train good. No, that just be crazy to me, man. That just be crazy to me.
Bro, it wouldn't have mattered if they'd have fought a few years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
He's gonna get his ass whooped regardless. He's gonna be the same thing. I can see Bomac going over there saying, man, they got you down on the cards. All right.
And everybody that and all the Boots fans that keep talking about, oh, now that this happened, only thing Crawford could do is go down and fight Boots, which that don't make no sense because they just looked past when Blue Blood sat there and said that Al Heyman said he's not putting the money up for a Boots Crawford fight. They look past that. If Al Heyman himself said he's not putting the money up for a Boots Crawford fight, why they not getting mad at Al Heyman for not putting the money up, not making the fight happen? Why they keep blaming Crawford? Like, it's just a lot of things about the Earl Spence fans that just don't make no sense to me. And for Nine, every time you try to use his own words against him, he sit there and block you. I see. Whenever people use his own words against him, he block. I ain't got time for this. I'm like, no, them your words. The man played by your clip of you saying something different. Like, no, this thing just funny to me, man.
Always. Hey, Combat, I appreciate it, bro. I'm about to get up out of here. Salute to the panel.
Me too, man. I gotta go take some more pictures, man. You know, it is Easter, and we do, gotta do the Easter thing.
Indeed.
Man.
Salute to y'all, man. Y'all have a blessed one.
Man, it's Easter. Easter cleaning.
I'm about to have more Twitter fights with Earl Spence fans, so y'all be blessed.
All right, you too, man. Shout out to WCS. Thank you for having me on the panel, WCS. Appreciate you, my guy.
Y'all hold on for a second. I'm still here. Hold on for a second. Yeah, my fault. You know, it's Easter and everything. So at the end of the day, you know, fam be popping up and everything. But big shout out to the panel that was up here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to those supporters that was up on the panel. You know, solid topics. You know, the conversation ain't gonna never end. To be honest with you, it's not gonna ever end because you have, you know, Errol Spence fans is willing to switch up based off little to no persuasion. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to be persuaded to switch up. All they're looking for is any indication that they're switching up for a common cause. That is to go ahead and re-embrace EJ's appearance in life, knowing he got beat up by Crawford. They need little to no persuasion to do that, man. And not only that, they willing to turn their back. They willing to go against, if we want to call it the code of ethics. You know, when it comes to boxing talk, they willing to go against the code of ethics and say, well, what he accomplished don't mean nothing. Well, it sure enough meant something when Spence was picking up those belts. Qualifications meant a lot. A heck of a lot. And then all of a sudden, 6 months pass by, and then y'all say qualifications don't matter. But PBC favoritism, which they want to say nepotism, that's what matters the most. Showing extreme bias. I mean, promotion's been doing that forever and a day. But the fight fans understand where it's at. If Fundora goes in there in Texas, where Spence is going to get that hometown cooking, and he gets robbed or he takes a dive, it's not going to be a good look on freaking Spence. I don't see Spence being any stronger at 154. You know, I see him going in there in his hometown crowd and doing, I mean, just look at it. Look at it this way. Look at it this way. He went in there and had problems with Yordenis Ugas. How much more hometown cooking do you need? Like, he had problems early with Yordenis Ugas, and then Lawrence Cole had to get a command stop for the fight to cease. You know? And then Ugas stopped fighting, and his eyes swelled up and bled for 40 days and 40 nights. So I'm looking at it like, yeah, take it back to Texas where you're comfortable at. You know what I'm saying? You kind of give me those Anthony Joshua vibes. You know what I'm saying? You go out there for a little bit out, you know, on your biggest fights. You go outside of that perimeter and you don't perform the way you're supposed to. You're supposed to keep building on going over there beating Kell Brook in his backyard. You know? You're supposed to build on fighting Sean Porter over there in Cali. You're supposed to build on that. But yeah, you followed Danny Garcia that was willing and to surrender. You know what I'm saying? To conform. Then you fought Yordenis Ugas. And then you fought Crawford out in Vegas, and everything shattered. Now you want to go back to Texas. You know, put some money out there, get Jerry Jones to help finance everything, and then go there and fight Fundora and look somehow, some way to get those two belts. You know what I'm saying? That's how that works. So I can see the play. They're definitely trying to put into play if Fundora decides to keep that belt. I doubt he decides to keep both of the belts, which is going to make it difficult for Spence, y'all. It's gonna make it difficult for Spence. Him getting the WBC still puts him on a collision course to Crawford. You know what I'm saying? It still puts him on a collision course. If Fundora has to come off the belts, I mean that WBO, just because Crawford activated his WBO mandatory. If he has to come off that belt, that means Spencer's fighting for the WBC. That's if he can win. The Fundora family seem like they on a mission, man. You know what I'm saying? So I can say it don't seem like he would be the guy to get the orders, but you never know with boxing. These fighters do anything, especially when they already done took a loss. The money goes longer, so they might be willing to take another L. I don't know. I just say, him going home is it's a possibility that if the fight go to the scorecards, you get robbed. But Spence, forward pressure, somewhat similar to what Tszyu was doing last night. I see him potentially getting beat up like Erickson Lubin. I see him because he does get hit. You know what I'm saying? At least Tszyu was very patient in trying to get around the jab. You know what I'm saying? And land his, counter or come over the top, catch and shoot, or try to slip outside of Fondora's jab on the inside and throw his right hand, hit him with a 1-2 on the inside and get up out of there. See, Spence is not going to get up out of there. All he's going to do is try to stay on the inside. And Fundora loves fighting on the inside. He just chose not to do it against Tszyu. Because Tszyu got some power in there, man. Spence has decent power. You know what I'm saying? He has decent power. But not so much on the inside. Fundora, he's an anomaly. You know what I'm saying? He's a different type of fighter to have limbs that long, 80 inches, and be able to box on the inside, bro. They are saying that Spence is going to get the unification fight before Bud. He will fight for a belt, but it won't be unification. Hey, they can keep talking about what he gonna get, and then he don't get it. They up here talking about, oh, that's messed up. Man, they'll just jump on anything at this point. They'll jump on anything. Anything that can get people to tune in, and they don't care if they lying or not. They can lie straight and tell people, oh, this is gonna happen. This is going for you. Well, why do we have any type of sanctioning bodies? Why do we have rules or anything else? If Bud is gonna activate for the WBO that allows it, they have to follow through with it. Bud is never taking step aside money. I'm pretty sure he's not going to take step aside money for this WBO title. So like I said, Fundora want to come off this WBO belt, or he wants to fight Crawford and get it out the way. Where's his mindset at? Does he want to be one of the greatest? Or do he just want to have this moment that people can talk about in history that, yes, he became world champion, but he's no better than majority of the, he fits around certain other Mexican fighters. He didn't really do anything too special. And to be honest, Fundora can be a champion at 160, y'all. So him moving up in weight, I don't think that's a problem. He can be a champion at 160 because there ain't nothing going on. But I'm just curious to see where his integrity is at right now with this unification fight. Is he gonna drop the belt, or he gonna just fight the man for both of them on the line? Because that'll be huge for Crawford and Fundora. Fundora get to fight the man right now, the pound for pound, which Crawford wanted to do with Canelo. He wanted to fight the so-called man. You know what I'm saying? The one that's at 168 is getting all the millions. He wanted to prove that he can beat him and hand him his third loss. So if Fundora wants to fight the man, just like Canelo fought Floyd Mayweather, let's see it. Let's see it, Fundora. Let's see if you are working with the machine. You know what I'm saying? Let's see if Fundora, is up here, thinking for himself a little bit. Let's see if he really want to go up there and fight and get this hardware, to say he stepped in, he graced the square with one of the best of this era. Let's see if he's willing to do that. I can't really say if he is or he ain't. I just know Tszyu, I didn't like all the feathers that he was shedding. Tszyu was shedding a lot of feathers. And he was showing the cuckoo cock-a-doodle, beneath the feathers. when they was talking about Spence, Crawford, Canelo. I'm like, what? I thought you was all about just fighting Crawford, and then you and your manager started pushing Spence, Crawford, Canelo, bro. Well, what are we talking about, man? This is going to be interesting in the upcoming weeks to see what happens with Fundora. Because think about this now. You remember when the WBO, they stripped Jermell Charlo when he stepped in there and fought Canelo. So the WBO, they be handling business now. They be handling business. So they stripped Mel Charlo, allowed Tszyu to, fight for that belt or elevate. And now Tszyu lost it. Fondor's the champion. Why wouldn't they let Crawford, definitely hold true to fighting as the mandatory? And it's up to Fundora on whether he wants to damn vacate it or fight Crawford for both the WBC and the WBO on the line. That's a huge fight. Crawford get both of those belts, and he has a Fundora on his resume. I mean, it's very likely that he may potentially unify that 154-pound division real soon. We're talking about 2025 soon. It all depends, because people are gonna cry. And tomorrow, what are you talking about? Crawford only fight once a year. If he has some fights that's accessible, especially with them championship belts he has, it'll be great. And plus, I want him to try to give us, a little bit of direction as to where he's going at 147 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Sooner or later, he's gonna have to come off the belts. I'm just curious, he gonna stay down there and take another fight, or he's going to move up to 154 and vacate? Because that's going to get very interesting down there too. Because you have Blair Cobbs that's going to be returning. He's signed with Don King now, and all that hoopla, He fought Danny and Ugas, who took orders. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're going to have to see what's going on, man. What about the orders? What is going on? Where is Fundora head at, man? Is he going to take the orders, or he going to face Crawford? I just don't see these fighters using Crawford names first. Boots refused to use it first. Tim Tszyu refused to use it first. Teofimo Lopez was up there using it, abusing, and then turn around and talk about a catch weight. Now he's trying to convince everybody, and they're not buying it no more. It don't matter how much Lopez Sr. talk about, oh, my son to kill him, my son to do this, my son to do that. Listen, okay, we heard it before, but he said at a catch weight. Crawford ain't fighting him in no catch weight. He's not freaking surrendering to y'all with no negotiations. You know what I'm saying? He's not giving y'all nothing. Y'all gonna have to find a way, if you really want that fight, to make it be known so it can happen. Nobody want to be going back and forth. It's all funny games to go on social media and drop a few tweets here and there, cool. But when you look the way you did against Jermaine Ortiz and then get emotional at the end of the fight, because you think, God, you actually saw the angels flying in front of you. You have been blessed. You have been blessed. You know what I'm saying? You have been blessed, my son. Enjoy. So they bless you with retaining your title, and then you talk about suck this and suck that and getting mad at the crowd and all that, and then you say you'd like to fight Crawford at a catch weight. Man, get out of here. Get out of here. Stop the cap. I'll acknowledge Errol can sell a fight because he's better talker, but besides that, Bud is all around better than Spence. I mean, think about Spence in front of the mic. You really want to say Spence is a better talker? Like back in the day now, before the accident, yes. Right now, Back in the day, I kind of agree with you. I kind of agree, but just look at it today when they had the first press conference in Beverly Hills. I mean, Spence was sounding just fine. He talked his trash, but come on, man. I know for a fact Crawford had the better comeback lines. He had the better lines, man. You know what I'm saying? Crawford was the Omaha Nostradamus when he said, "When I beat you, they're gonna say you was weight drained and stayed in the division too long." He predicted that. He predicted that. That's what his foretell right there, man. He predicted that. Then he said he's gonna take out his belt. He said he was gonna catch him on the hook, and that's just about what he did. You know, they say they already got him on the hook. They just gonna reel him in. They got the fight. The fight was the hook. And they just gonna reel him in now. Real talk. They just gonna reel him in, bro. So the good thing about the Fondora, we'll find out in a little bit, you know, upcoming weeks about how this process is gonna play out. You know, just when I think a fighter ain't gonna take the orders, they end up taking the orders, y'all. You know what I'm saying? They get with these fighters that really haven't earned too much money in their careers, and then I guess they have this pep talk with them and say, "Hey, you do this for us, we're gonna continue to look out for you now, but we have plans for Spence, who's the older fighter, the more established fighter. We want him to go on a 154-pound run, and he's a moneymaker for us right now. He got Jerry Jones behind him, and you got nobody. You know what I'm saying? We need you to come off this belt, and we'll get back with you and make sure you're taken care of." You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Fundora, man, he had the hard road. He got to being a mandatory and then ended up getting knocked out after they kept feeding him fighters. He gets Tszyu, he wins. Now he's in another dilemma. Is he going to keep both belts? He's going to drop the WBO, or, you know, what's the deal? Is he going to go off his integrity and dare to be great? Or he's just going to say, "Nah, I dropped the belt. I'm going to do what I'm told." It's a hard decision, bro. It's hard. Bud going to stop Canelo in the building. What's good with it, brother? He say, "Well, W says you 3 hours in." I know I had a panel earlier, man. You know, I don't have panels that often, but you know, I'm gonna continue to put this hot grease up there because them aerosexuals have returned and they're feeling some type of way that they want to chirp a little bit and act like they want the same ones up here trying to say what Bud should be doing. They like pretty much Spence, you know, he's returning and he's the the bigger fight than Crawford. Who cares about what Crawford did? That's a long time ago. Everybody loses and they acting like a loss ain't nothing. Let Crawford with a loss, and man, they would have been doing what WCS is doing. They would have been coming over here. You know, they would have been doing live streams. They would have been throwing up these pics. Let me remind them now. They would have been throwing up these pictures. You know what I'm saying? They would have. They would have been throwing up these pictures, y'all. They would have been giving you frame by frame, man. This is one of the jabs before you turn the jab into a hook. Hey, Spence up there talking about the big dog. Do you know what this gorilla was doing to you? I ain't never seen a gorilla lose to a dog. Never. I never seen a gorilla lose to a dog. Look at that. Face discontorted. You know what I'm saying? Look at that beautiful hook. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful hook. God damn. And dear Heavenly Father, I come to you today and talk about this thing we call boxing. I never imagined, Father God, that I would be in this situation because I thought for sure this man ain't fought nobody. So he wasn't even in the conversation. And as I think about that, Lord, and the rounds have just passed, I understand this fight right here might be my last. I got a trainer, Diddy James. But what he don't know I'm not going to pay him because he's lame. Fight strategy, all bad. I'm mad. I don't want to pay him his money. He didn't earn it. And I blame my dad. 2 years I didn't talk to him. I'm still angry. But I'm just going to try to stick around so I can take the easy route again. Join me on the hook because I'm about to sing it. Easy route. Yes, indeed. Easy route. I'm going to take the easy route. And yes, I am. I'm going to take the easy route. And yes, I am. You say, I'm going to take the easy route. Yep, I'm going to take the easy route once again. Look at that. You ever seen a fighter who was on the canvas showing you he wore red bottoms into the ring, y'all? I got to remind them when they're up here trying to create all these false pamphlets of propaganda. You cannot deny this date right here. You cannot deny they said this man ain't fought nobody. I had a person come on this live today and they was up here trying to say that Errol Spence's resume is better than Bud's. Look, how is that even an answer to that? And the last fight that Bud Crawford fought was Errol Spence, and he lost. So therefore, if you're saying that Errol Spence is all this and a bag of stale chips, then you have to recognize that Crawford having him on his resume in the win column means that his resume, just based off Spence, is better than Spence, because Spence has nobody on his resume that's the quality or name opposition to Crawford. That's a fact. Whether you want to recognize it or not, it's just like that. Believe it. It's just like that. I'm gonna take the easy route today, tomorrow. Oh, I'm gonna take the easy route. I say easy route. He want to take the easy route again, y'all. He want to cut the line and take the easy route. I didn't learn my lesson, baby. I say I didn't learn my lesson, but just maybe I can cut the line this time. I can cut the line this time. He trying to take the easy route again, y'all. He trying to take the easy route. Spence waited for the storm to pass from the criticism while he got distracted by all other viral, and then he magically appeared. They forced him to, man. You know what I'm saying? They forced him to. They put that battery in his back and say, hey, we have downloaded the GPS coordinates and you're going to Vegas. Once you're in Vegas, I want you to lay low. Your mission is to jump in the ring and challenge the winner, regardless of the name, whether it be Tszyu or Fundora. I want you to challenge them so we can keep this going. Well, they was hoping Tszyu would be it. And the way Tszyu fought last night, it'll be a tough fight for Crawford to go in there and beat Tszyu, man. I really think Crawford should fight Tszyu, man. He should fight anybody besides Fundora. Even though he's going to have some time to train for it. If he's still with Derrick James and they still have a rapport, he's losing, bro. He's losing. Period. He's losing, man. You know, I'm just saying. That's my guess. I'm guessing. He's losing. He's losing. Spence fans can't hide it anymore. They truly support playing keep away from Bud. They support vacating belts to prevent greatness. Ooh, it's sad and funny to see at the same time. Fire. You know what I'm saying? That's ice cold. You know what I'm saying? That's ice cold fire. You ever heard that ice cold fire? He said Spence fans can't even hide it anymore. They truly support playing keep away, which is absolutely factual. they support playing keep away. You know why? Only because it's Bud Crawford's name. They playing keep away, y'all. When have Bud been able to play keep away? You can't play keep away when you're on the hunt. Look, when you're on the hunt, you can't play keep away. That means he's coming towards you. You are the prey. He's hunting, so he ain't playing keep away. How is this all of a sudden? They're trying to push this as if it's trending. The aerosexuals want this to be trending, y'all. They want to go up here and play keep away over qualifications. How can you have any better qualifications based off the 147-pound division, now 154, where these two individuals are trying to fight, and one is doing it the right way, and the other one is just going off, hoping the machine can put him in a position to lose, because that's what's going to happen. But good point, man. Shout out to the pugilist, man. Shout out to the pugilist. He said Spence fan actually saying Bud duck Spence at 154. Them mofos just lie. So Bud ducked Spence at 154. He ducked him. So I suppose Bud is responsible for starting boxing prior to Spence, having a poor performance as an Olympian. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I mean, you look at whoever won medals doing it, I'm just saying. But anyway, I guess when Bud Crawford was, climbing the ladder at 135, he's supposed to have been hunting down Spence, who was fighting around, a little bit over 147 at the time, right? So basically what they want you to try to be conditioned to believe is that Bud is responsible for shit he ain't accountable for. They want him to be responsible for stuff he's not accountable for. They want people to hold Bud accountable for something he can't account for. They want to make him have that moment where he said, "What? What? What are you talking about? Man, stop it. You sleepy. Go back to sleep. You sleepy. You've been looking for me since 2018. Stop it. You're sleepy. Go back to sleep. Stop it." Bug, no, I thought you changed it to something else, but I guess someone else have that pic as their profile. Okay. PBC prevent Bud Crawford. You know what I'm saying, right? They are prevent Bud Crawford, right? You right about that. They are, right? You know what I'm saying? You ain't lying about that. But hey, let me see if I get all my picks in. Remember, the man hand is already casted at the Hall of Fame. It's already casted now. I just thought I'd put that up there. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Jahad Tucker. He'll be back in the building real soon. Shout out to his team. Big salute to the News by Shaw News that was on earlier. The fam on deck doing big things. Make sure you support his channel. I got to move up out of here, man. We'll do it again. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. I'm out. Peace.